Waiting. And now for the 10 car and the 0-0 on top. It is the green flag displayed. They're racing at Road America. Allmendinger clearing the 0-0 of Custer as they go into turn 1, but there's still double file behind him.
Yeah, you can see Cole Custer really wanted no part of trying to go in there, even if he could have, beside of A.J. Allmendinger. Didn't want to take that chance right here. That's 3 experienced drivers right up front there that understands that they can get themselves out ahead of the rest of the pack right here.
Sam Mayer's black and blue 1. He slides just in front of the black 24 of Sage Karam as they roll now down the other side of the track toward that tricky turn 5 that GJ talked about. Heavy braking, high speed.
We see a lot of cars have trouble right here. You see the 7 car heavy braking down into the corner. Justin Allgaier making a great move, but behind, look at all the 2 wide.
Look at that. Cole Custer was right back to the inside, crossed him over right there. Allgaier got in there so hard, took a while to get it turned and back to the throttle. Cole Custer back to second.
Good racing on lap 1. Riley Herbst in the black 98 monster car. He runs fourth, just looking for an opportunity. Sam Mayer's going to try to make a move. He'll do it in turn 8.
That is a high-risk move right there. Takes a late braking move. Riley Herbst did a nice job of recovering from that. Only lost the 1 spot.
Through the portion of the track they call the carousel. Long right hand, almost a full circle. Now down to the high-speed area toward the kink, the one that's caused all the trouble this weekend.
Sheldon Creed with a great big block right there. Both he and John Hunter in that 20 car, Sheldon in the 2 red car. Both of them had trouble leaving that corner.
Yeah, you might get away with that block right at this point in time, but I would say these laps wind down, which is a long way away, that's going to become a lot more risky.
Did you see that move by Connor Mozak? That was an aggressive move in the 19 car to pick up that spot.
Picked up a position on Austin Hill's blue and white 21. Mozak now on the red and blue 19. There he is. That Toyota's looking good. Clipping just off the track a little bit. We know that can be dangerous. There's the 51 of Jeremy Clements, a backup car. He had to start at the rear of the field.
This is what we talked about right here. How much grip does the racetrack have offline? Allgaier got in there and tried to just show his car, see if he could take that spot. The 26 car making a move of Kaz Gralla. He was very fast in practice. Allgaier still on attack.
Allgaier's going to get second from Cole Custer. Done.
Yeah, you mentioned Kaz Gralla with that good pass. Don't be surprised if he finds himself in the mix before this afternoon is over, at least up inside the top 5 battling.
Kaz will be in the red and white 26. He just got 8th position from Sheldon Creed.
Great deal of respectful racing right now, DJ. I think yesterday, all the problems in practice got everyone's attention. And they said, hey, let's try to get through these first laps without issues. And I'm sure crew chiefs and car owners and spotters are reminding the drivers it's a long race.
And Jeff, you mentioned it, competition caution at lap 10, NASCAR has told us on there or about. They want these teams to be able to get a look at their tires, to talk about what they've seen with this newly repaved track, because they don't have any data at all. That's the 35 off track now of Stanton Barrett. Racing there with his team car, Patrick Emmerling in the black, number 53.
Whoa.
You can see the back of the cars moving around. That's just the drivers trying to apply the throttle, thinking there's a certain amount of grip, and being surprised that the grip's not there.
Yeah, Jeff, I think you had a conversation you were doing with the pole sitter and the guy that's the big favorite here, A.J. Allmendinger, talking about how difficult his track is. And this is a guy that was handling it best, so you know that everyone else is struggling even more.
He was terrified when this race started. He's like, I have no idea what to expect.
Chandler Smith made a pass on Josh Williams for 14th going into Canada corner. That's the 16 over the 92. Look at Riley Herbst. He'd like to get a spot from Sam Mayer. Can he do it in turn 1? Mayer hanging tough on the outside. But Riley's not going to give up. He's still got the preferred line going through the right-handers here. And who's in the groove, Jeff? Is Riley in the groove or is Sam on the outside?
I just think that was, again, some very respectful driving. Riley could have driven it in there a little bit deeper, and wisely on lap 3 making the decision to lift.
Yeah, and you can see they both slowed down a little bit more, not exactly sure what to expect, because you can see John Hunter Nemechek in the 20 gain a little time on both of those as they kind of tiptoed their way through that.
Another aggressive braking zone move by the 19 car, Connor Mozak. He's got a lot of road racing experience in the Trans Am Series, has raced on this racetrack, has a really limited amount of racing compared to most people his age. Most people his age started racing at 5-6 years old. He started much, much later, trying to make up that experience, driven all kinds of different race cars, doing a really nice job here.
Sheldon Creed drives for Richard Childress Racing in that red and white number 2. Matt, you have more?
Dave, the RCR cars came to Elkhart Lake with a slightly different setup, trying something new compared to what they've run at Portland, Chicago, and Coda, and it did not work. Both cars, Sheldon Creed told me, were just simply wrecking loose almost every lap, and it wasn't due to the new pavement, so they called the audible, went to something they've run in the past, much more comfortable, going back to Plan A, and he told me that this is one of the things that they need to do to generate some good momentum moving forward and to survive today here at Road America.
Teammates running there, the 2 and the 21.
Whoa, Connor Mozak got himself in trouble right there.
14 corners, you got to nail all of them, right?
Well, that was a good save. I thought he was going to go out of the park there for a moment.
Yeah, you keep attacking this. Yeah, even though there are cars, and we can look at more experienced drivers up here, understanding how fast they can and can't go. But when you're trying to learn and make this really fast and do this lap after lap, you're going to find yourself in a really difficult spot. That was I guess he saved it or just got really fortunate. I'm not sure, but combination.
Well, there's some pavement off to the side there. Here at Road America, there's lots of configurations you can race as an amateur, and that's part of another track they run. That was why it was nice and smooth and paved. That helped him a lot.
Well, let's give you the benefit of the doubt and say he knew it was there. That's where he decided to push the car.
Works for me.
The problem is we saw in practice yesterday that if you get off and you catch this grass, the way the surface is there, that it's tearing up the splitter, the front of these cars quite a bit. And so you have to be extremely careful and calculating as to where you try to make that.
See the 11 of Daniel Hemrick, the 18 of Sammy Smith. Both of these guys started in the back. They've gained a lot of spots. Hemrick up 15, Sammy up 12 spots. So, you know, with a competition caution coming at lap 10, if Sammy Smith could drive himself up to 12th-ish and the 11 car here and follow him up there, that's a big gain. And now they're in the fight.
That's right.
And they've done a really good job in a very tough situation to get up through the field. Sammy Smith, a very young race car driver, got off to a hot start beginning of the year. Things cooled off some. He's been very consistent lately. That's what you like to see out of young drivers, rookie drivers, those yellow stripes on the back bumper. But it's calmed down lately, a lot of consistency, and now today he's bringing a lot of speed.
Smith had to go to a backup car. Hemrick's team had to replace an engine. No replacement here. A.J. Allmendinger running strong and out front at Road America. Fantastic show at the front of the field at Road America. It is A.J. Allmendinger in the first Chevrolet. Justin Allgaier in the second one, going for first. And there's Cole Custer right there. Allgaier will take the lead.
A.J. moving out of the way of Cole Custer. You could see that he had been caught by Allgaier. Then Custer caught both of them, which led us to believe that the 10 car of Allmendinger did not have the pace. He looks loose to me. I see the back of the car moving around a lot.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like he just can't attack the corners the way that we expect him to be able to do. And I think that A.J. just saying right now, it's not time to take a chance and run off the course. There's going to be a time for an adjustment and try to make that. Or could have simply run it too hard and it got a little bit too much heat in these tires.
And that's exactly what Chris Rice and A.J. were discussing. A.J. said the car just too tight on entry and starts to really swing to the loose side on exit, trying to get that forward bite. Chris told him pressure's probably a little too high, just hang on to it, and we'll adjust that when we hit pit road on our first stop.
Yep, so the conversation about air pressure being too high, they know on a 10-lap run they're going to get a competition caution. So you would want to start your car with a little bit more air pressure because you're not going to get a long run. So what you're hearing there is they feel like they went a little too far, which would make the balance of both ends of the car not well. It wouldn't turn well. It wouldn't make good rear grip. You can't fix both of those things with an adjustment. The only thing that would help both of those is air pressure.
7 laps complete, and now Cole Custer looking down the back end of Justin Allgaier there, going toward turn 1, takes a peek, lets him see the headlights of the Mustang. Not going to try it here.
Yeah, you just hope as a driver that if you move out of there a little bit, you've got that driver in front looking ahead or looking in his mirror and thinking, and maybe he drives in a little bit too far and you can get yourself an opening there. Not going to happen. Justin Allgaier's very experienced. He knew what was happening.
But Custer's car looks really good, Jeff.
Oh, both of these cars look really good. And I really like both of them under braking. They both are able to get into the corners really deep, and they're stable under braking. See, the back of the car is not moving around any. The car is not shaking. They're both able to be very aggressive. And that's where you pass. You get a good run on corner exit, and then you try to outbrake the guy in front of you.
The top 3 have led and won many times at the road courses. 21% of all the road courses run for the Xfinity Series and won by these top 3. Let's hear more about the 0-0 from Kevin.
Well, he's got a chance to go 3 for 3. He's won the last 2 road course races. Those were his first 2 road course wins. So has there been an epiphany this year? Has it finally clicked for him? No, not necessarily. He told me yesterday, I've always felt pretty comfortable on these road courses. I've done some things like Michelin Pilot Challenge races in IMSA to get better. We've had chances before. It just hasn't worked out. It's clicked this year as far as getting opportunity and getting a break. Now, coming into this race, he said the car is good, but I'm really worried because it's treacherous. I mostly just want to survive, but now he's in position to think a little bit more about surviving.
Yeah, but I think as you watch Cole Custer, as I watch his car, he's using up a lot less racetrack on the exit of these corners, and that tells me that a little more under control and that his car is only going to be better the longer these runs go.
You may be familiar with Cole Custer, spent a couple of years at NASCAR's highest level in the Cup Series. This year, back to the Xfinity Series and trying to win a championship.
Yeah, see, Cole Custer got a good run off the corner 14. That's a good one to get a run on because now you've got this long straightaway. Cole's going to show it and try to outbrake Allgaier.
Top end speed for the 7 car looking just a little bit better here. What about the braking zone? Will Custer try it here? Oh, he's right there.
They're so equal under braking. The only way right now you're going to be able to make this pass, DJ, is to be able to really get a good corner exit and get alongside Allgaier. They both have exceptionally good braking force. That is the problem with Allmendinger. We're hearing that he does not have good braking, and that is not allowing him to keep up with this fight, and it's why he ultimately gave up the lead.
You can see Allmendinger now 2+ seconds behind. There he is, the 3rd white car in line. And what would you do, Jeff, if you were him? I mean, kind of save your stuff all over, because you need big adjustments before you can really race for the win here.
Finish 3rd, like run 3rd.
Yeah, in this stage.
2 to go,
yep.
right?
Yep.
For the competition caution.
Here comes Custer.
Turn 6 pass. Can he make it work? Allgaier says no. Nice defense by Justin Allgaier. How about turn 8? Cole says maybe on the outside here. Oh, Justin with a block. Here comes Cole down to the inside. No.
That's fun racing. That's fun to watch. He's got a good run right here. Nothing he can do with it, though.
Not in the carousel. No, this is hold your line. Hold your line. Get a great exit heading toward the kink.
And this is where you end up where we saw most of the wrecks yesterday. This right-hander lift a little bit early, now go back to the throttle, and a lot of drivers, when they went back to the throttle, crossed over that curb and got in the wall. And that's hard for Custer. He can't see.
I see that.
Yeah, I mean, Allgaier has a great view of it, but Custer right behind that 7 car, he just can't see where to go.
But you can tell Justin Allgaier wants to stay in front right here. He wants to control when things go back green after we have this competition caution. He wants to be the man in control. He's running extremely hard, using up a lot of racing surface.
Back up the hill. This is where Custer got close last time.
See, again, a great run. Justin's car accelerates. Custer once again trying to outbrake him. Like DJ said, show him that I want this spot, pulling along, trying to get alongside, but Allgaier's braking is just too good for him right now. Now that's going to go away. The braking does not stay the same throughout the whole race. What we don't know is which car is going to lose more braking than the other.
Nine complete. NASCAR has told the teams lap 10 or thereabouts there will be a competition caution. Chance to catch their breath, see what the tire wear is like on this newly repaved Road America. Custer not close enough this time in turn 5.
No, but he just keeps worrying him, you know? He just keeps moving around, and that's aggravating as a driver. You know, you glance in that mirror, you want to take one last glance, and so far, Cole Custer has gone to both sides here, so he's not making it easy. A little tap maybe right there.
Oh, he's got a good run right here. On the outside, though, can he get underneath the 7?
Great exit, looking to the outside here. I don't know if you want to do that in turn 8. Oh, Justin, hard braking. Back end comes out just a little bit. He holds him off. And this is where you hear the tires scream as they try to hang on with grip here through the long, winding right-hander called the carousel.
Cole got another great run off the carousel. Now, once again, into this kink. Cole, see how early he turned? He got to the bottom of the racetrack before the 7. That's because he can't see. He's got to overcompensate a little bit to make sure he doesn't miss the groove on the outside, because if you miss the groove on that side, you end up in a wreck.
Allmendinger now getting pressure from Herbst. That's for 3rd.
Yeah, AJ really struggling here. I think that, you know, he's just trying to make sure that he doesn't do anything to jeopardize the rest of this race. But yeah, and that could cost him a couple of more spots. Not the biggest issue.
A couple of young drivers behind him who will be aggressive. Oh, this is trouble for Catherine Legg. And she does not appear to be under power.
And on this racetrack, as big as it is, it's when you have a mechanical issue, you're in big trouble.
Meanwhile, track stays green for the moment. Allgaier still trying to hold off Custer. And here's Herbst giving a look in the mirror for Allmendinger. Doesn't make the move here.
We keep talking about the improvement of a road racer. You see Catherine still on racetrack.
Yeah, that has to bring out a caution.
And I'm sure they will use this as the competition caution, as Catherine Legg is stuck between turns 5 and 6 going uphill, so there was no way she was going to get further along.
And these positions are determined by loops, scoring loops in the racetrack. It measures you where you were when the caution came out. Riley Herbst got by A.J. Allmendinger, but may not have got by him before he got to one of those loops. So it'll be interesting to see where they line him up. And that matters. That matters a great deal because he's racing Parker Kligerman. Parker's driven up to 11th. That's who they're racing for in points. He's driven up to 11th. Riley Herbst right now in 3rd. We'll see where they line him up. But every spot could matter.
It's a tough break for Catherine Legg. She just got the call a week ago to drive this race car. A couple of former NBA refs with their refology on the side of that car helped get her in this ride. And we're told you'll see Catherine 3 more times this year on the road courses for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Hopefully better luck next time. This is the competition caution, and we'll be back to see what happens next at Road America. Great racing so far on a sunny Wisconsin afternoon. NBC Sports coverage of NASCAR is brought to you by Toyota, let's go places, and by Progressive. Save when you bundle motorcycle, RV, and boat insurance. Visit progressive.com. Beautiful Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. That was the Osthoff House. Nice place to stay if you get a chance to stay up here, and so much is walkable in town. And I mean, think about it. You could walk to the track. It'd be a mile or so, but the track is just outside of Elkhart Lake. It's really a beautiful part of the country called the Kettle Moraine area, and if you ever get a chance to get up here, you have got to do it, especially if there's a NASCAR Xfinity race.
It's so much fun going down there. The history, there's a lot of historic markers where a racetrack went down through downtown. Fun, a lot of fun restaurants, a lot of ice cream, Dave. I don't know if you know that or not.
Perhaps. By the way, just cleaning up a couple of things. Catherine Legg off track. She brought up this caution. And then also, Kyle Sieg had a brake line issue, and he took the 28 car to the garage. This car, nowhere in the garage except yesterday because he crashed his primary car. This backup car by Sammy Smith, he is driven all the way up to the 13th position from 30th. This young driver, 19 years old from Iowa, the one thing about him is once he gets back to a track, DJ, he nails it. This was his first ever Xfinity Series race last year, so, you know, ho-hum. This year, he's just crushing it. Yeah, really impressive. It just shows the talent that he has and how well he takes in everything that happens and applies all of that what he could do better, how they could be better each time that he goes back. So that bodes well for him as he gets into the playoffs and thinks about trying to win a championship.
And remember, this is a car that he had not driven until today because they had to go to a backup today. When I saw him this morning, I said, any concerns? He said, nope. You know, with Joe Gibbs Racing, that the backup car is going to be just as good as the primary. So he was ready. He was optimistic. He said he's a little bit looking for a better drive off at this point on this pit stop. So they'll make a slight change. So they might be able to get the car even better than it has been so far, Matt.
And the same for another driver who started in the back, and that is 9 of Brandon Jones. The day not going quite as well as he had hoped. Remember, the game plan was to pick off 8 to 10 cars each stage. Right now, though, his biggest issue is just trying to get that 9 machine to brake. He says he does not have enough brake. He's having to roll through the corner even more, just losing time. They're hoping to make some adjustments on that car as well when he hits pit road.
It's a tale of two guys to the rear there. Smith moving forward, Jones not so much.
Yeah, that's frustrating as a driver when you know this is a relatively short race and you have to go. And it's so frustrating when you can't, especially under braking, DJ, when you can't out-brake somebody on a road course, it's almost impossible to pass. And Brandon having problems under braking really hampers his ability to move forward.
Yeah, getting no laps yesterday. As we pointed out, his incident happened the very first lap on the racetrack yesterday. So he didn't, he might have could have picked that up with their primary car, that this might be an issue and things that you could have done, but there's not much you can do at this point in time about that.
Jones in that bright yellow 9 is outside the playoff looking in 15th and 54 points away, so he's got some work to do there too. And I believe, again, with 7 races to go, GJ, I believe it's still going to take a win. Mathematically, maybe, but he's got to win.
Yeah, I mean, just the drivers that he has to jump over, it's not like they're laying back, and so that's going to make it even more difficult. So, yeah, I think they're certainly looking at wins, and he's got some tracks coming up that very well could happen.
Kyle Weatherman running in front of him in the 4, Blaine Perkins behind him in the yellow 02. They'll all be coming to pit lane. Some modified pit procedures for this weekend. Again, the super fast, well-tuned pit crews are all at Richmond Raceway this weekend. These will be the guys and gals who work in the shop, work on the road, and they'll have basically all the time they need, Jeff, to change tires and fill the cars with fuel.
Yeah, there are 3 opportunities to put fuel in the car, and the reason that they do that is to prevent people from pitting under green and changing the strategy and using live pit stops to help make that happen. It's just costs so much money. So this is the competition caution. So on this caution, you're going to come in, put 4 tires on it, and put fuel in it. The next time you can come down pit road is at the end of stage 1, and then again at the end of stage 2. So if you think about it, really these are 10 to 12 lap runs. There are no long runs in this, and that keeps people from burning too much fuel and really keeps people from having an opportunity to mix up the strategy.
And DJ, you don't have to pit if you don't want to.
Don't have to, but there's really...
but look at them all.
We talked about this, that everybody's going to come because there's not really a strategy that works into this. There could have, maybe for some guys at the back, could have early in this, if they would have just, taken those first 10 laps kind of off and just set a pace to where they were saving enough fuel and got enough caution laps. But, we didn't have a caution there, so you couldn't really apply that to a good strategy and a thought here. So everybody's going to be on pit road to see if they can make their car better.
And remember, at the stages, there will be points awarded for where you finish there. No points awarded here toward the championship, just a competition caution called by NASCAR.
You see that 10 car of A.J. Allmendinger. He's coming to his pits, and there's a lot of work to do on that car. We heard him talking about not having front grip, not having rear grip, Matt, but what else are they working on?
Well, looking at that 7 car, Jim Pullman and Justin went through a long debrief of just how that car was on the first run. The one concern, the fuel pressure gauge was kind of bouncing. Also, he felt like that the tires, now keep in mind, fresh pavement, it is jet black, even hotter than what it normally would be here. He felt like they needed to go down in pressures even more to help with more forward bite later in the run, Kevin.
Good start for the Stewart-Haas Racing cars. Cole Custer up to second, looking for road course win 3 in a row. Said he's a little bit loose here. He's going to take the 4 Goodyears with this free pass stop, essentially. Right behind him, you have the 98 Monster Energy car of Riley Herbst. He said he wants a little bit of a chassis adjustment, but they've been debating it. If we do this, it's going to impact the car here and vice versa. So you always have to give something up. But Herbst in good position right now. He comes in to this controlled stop, running in 4th, Matt.
And service almost complete on A.J. Allmendinger's number 10. Now, Chris Rice told Allmendinger just to be patient and calm. We've got a huge game plan that we're going to execute when you hit pit road. At least 5 different changes on this 10 car. No forward bite. The car was really skatey all over the track, so they made a number, especially going down in the pressures in the back to try to help him on corner exit. Remember, they came here only for one thing, a trophy hunting here at Elkhart Lake. A lot of work left to do here, but remember, he is the Xfinity Series all-time road course winner. Incredible stats, so we'll see what he can do here with these changes on the 10.
Team checking out the front of the car there, making sure that the air inlet for the radiator is nice and clean.
Yeah, they mentioned about Chris Rice telling AJ. He's the one person that can keep AJ calm that I've figured out. I think he might be the only person in the world that can do that.
Maybe
but
his wife.
This is a voice.
Maybe his wife.
Yeah, she just keeps him in line. But keeping him calm is a whole different thing. But Chris Rice does a good job of that with him.
And we're going to need to. He's got a lot of things going on. He's talking about everything shorting out in the dash, having some electrical issues, concerned the left front brake fans not working. So, you know, AJ's the kind of guy, he likes positive energy. He really does. He does not do well under negative energy. So he's going to have to get these problems fixed. And if they fix this car, he's going to drive it back to the lead.
Yeah.
There is Chris Rice in the dark shirt, president of Colleague Racing, helping make the calls here this afternoon. His driver's back on track, as are the rest of them. And when we come back here, we'll have a restart. They'll go side by side again, barreling off into turn 1. Don't know what kind of Brewers you think of when you think of Wisconsin. Yeah, how about the 2018 Brewers? They were here. And, of course, the Green Bay Packers. Plenty of brew up there at Lambeau Field. And the cheeseheads, they're everywhere. Of course, they make a lot of cheese here. Very proud of the dairy industry in Wisconsin. That's not all. Great racing. Love to be here. Wish you were here with us as well. Some Packers fans. If you come to a Wisconsin track, you got to have a Packers Easy Up, right?
Yeah, actually.
Or Badgers.
Yeah. Ran across a Packers fan the other day out in Arizona, and I just said, hey, how's it going to go without Aaron Rodgers? And he said, who? Moved on.
They are so over him, aren't they?
It might be going to find out who he was.
Hey, we want to welcome you back to coverage of the Road America 180. The race just over 180 miles. You better plan for those last two with fuel, because you're going to have to get there if you want to get the checkered flag first. Matt Yoakum.
Well, Dave, down here on pit road, one thing that teams are looking at, remember, with this fresh pavement, looking at what the tires, this is a tried and true Goodyear tire that they've used for several years at all the road course races, but with this new pavement, an added wrench thrown in the mix of just how this will perform during the entire race, especially during the first run. Now, the one thing that you can't do is lock up under braking while you're out on the racetrack, and that's exactly what A.J. Allmendinger did on his right front tire. You can see right here a little bit of flat spot, and there was one other section as well. You've got to be very efficient under braking, but you've also got to execute and not put yourself in a bad position. That's what several drivers have told me. You got to be careful, because if you flat spot your tires, you have really put yourself in a bad position, and you'll have to hit pit road.
Matt, thanks for the update. As the drivers come to this yellow V in the road, this is called the choose line. Jeff, why are they going right and left?
Well, you can pick whichever lane you want. That's where you have to start. It was very interesting. Now, Justin Allgaier in the 7 car leading the race. Cole Custer didn't pick alongside him.
Yeah.
He went behind him and gave Allmendinger the opportunity to go on the outside of Allgaier getting into turn 1. I thought that was a very interesting choice.
And now they will be coming to the green as the rest of the field packs up behind this now front row. Justin Allgaier in the orange 7 and the 10 of A.J. Allmendinger. The white Chevrolet there on the front row. Custer and Herbst in row 2. Mayer and Nemechek in row 3. And DJ, they're still catching up at the back.
They are trying to catch up.
Up the hill into the green flag again, racing at Road America. Justin Allgaier legging it out. He'll clearly take the lead. Will Allmendinger challenge on the outside? He's going to. Now Allgaier with the advantage on the right-hand turns. He'll command the lead.
Cole Custer needs to make this pass stick right here to make that choose that he made, his choice that he made right there at the choose. Beneficial and convince us, Jeff, that it was the right thing to do.
Well, he's on the wrong side of the racetrack right now. Approaching turn 5, Allgaier is in the preferred spot. Now it's a competition of who can outbrake who. Allmendinger pushing Cole Custer to the outside, and there you go.
Oh, Sam Mayer looking for a way around Custer. The blue car trying to get around the white car. Custer, little contact.
So now Cole Custer has to rethink that.
Yeah.
He cannot give up the front row, especially to a guy like Allmendinger. I mean, you give Allmendinger the front row, I just don't know that that's what the play you want to make.
But maybe the right time to make that choice and see how it works for later, because there's going to be a couple of other opportunities at least.
I think it shows you the respect for the racetrack.
Yeah.
The only reason you pick that is because you're terrified to be in the outside lane. That you don't think there's enough grip to combat the guy for the lead. So I'm going to take the bottom. It's a safer route. I'm not going to get myself in trouble. Rather than I've got a chance to go get the lead, it shows you the respect getting to the racetrack.
So Allgaier now clearly out in front. Allmendinger, then Custer, then Mayer. By the way, that caution that came out for Catherine Legg, that was a water pump failure on her car. That's what put her out of the race.
A couple other drivers up in here in 5th. Sage Karam right now doing a great job there. Kaz Gralla in the 7th spot. Connor Mozak back in 9th. So some names different than what we're accustomed to seeing up here in the top 10.
A little surprised we haven't seen the 20 car of Nemechek move more forward. I thought that yesterday in practice he had a lot of speed. Hasn't really found a way to go forward.
Could be that respect thing in his part of, he's in that points battle for the regular season championship. Just taking it easy here, working through these first couple of stages maybe.
And it's been a great weekend so far for Sam Hunt Racing. You see Sage Karam there, who has moved up into the 5th position. He felt like his race car was even better than what he qualified, so he's moving forward. And then just a few spots back, Kaz Gralla qualified 9th, running in 8th. He's been good here before, but didn't get a chance to race here last year, so he drove in the Trans Am race. Won. Felt like that helped him coming back this year. Kaz feels like this is one of his best opportunities. Said, hey, maybe a top 5 is in play for us today.
Yeah, 2 of his 6 top 5s in the Xfinity Series have come right here, so a place that he really enjoys.
And those 2 cars that Kevin just talked about, Sam Hunt Racing, they have an alliance with Joe Gibbs Racing, so the Toyotas that are fast for Joe Gibbs are fast for Sam Hunt. And Kaz is putting it on display here. He's looking for a way around that Joe Gibbs Racing 20 of Nemechek.
And let's check in on the points leader. John Hunter Nemechek went to a tool that not everyone has. He went to Dad. Everyone's looking for road course tips. He's pretty good on the road courses, but Joe, NASCAR longtime successful driver, was here in a vintage car 3 weeks ago, and he said, yeah, I actually took some tips, especially with the repave, to see what it was going to race like. On that first stop, they made an air pressure adjustment. He's still trying to get the car just a little bit better, more in the window, but not too bad so far.
And NASCAR doesn't mind if you come to a new track or a newly repaved track if you're not in one of their cars. Can't do that, but vintage race car, DJ, you can get in one yourself and check out the new pavement.
Could.
Won't.
But yeah, you like that. I mean, you use every resource that you have in trying to give yourself a better opportunity.
Data. You got to have
That's
it.
right. Yeah.
Wait a minute. You listen to your dad?
I was going to say, I used to get a lot of advice. I don't know that I ever put it to good use, but it was good. I just didn't use it.
You're watching Sam Mayer here in that one car. Sam Mayer grew up 7 miles from this racetrack, knows it very well. Tons of history here. He had a horrific crash in a Trans Am car back in 2020 at only 17 years old. And then he came back the next year and won a Trans Am race at this very racetrack. So those kind of things, DJ, although at the moment when they're happening, they just crush you because you're injured, you can't drive, etc. But when you defeat it and then you coming back to the racetrack, that's a huge amount of motivation for this young man.
Yeah, it really is. And you like to see young drivers that come back from things like that. You know, we've all experienced some things like that. You know, I had a crash in Charlotte early in my career that was devastating at that time. But then I can remember thinking back to that whenever I was finally able to win an Xfinity race at Charlotte. It was like, hey, come back here and make this happen. So I understand exactly how he feels. Having a great run here this afternoon.
Mayer runs in fourth. You see now Allmendinger's car. It appears to have been improved on that pit stop.
Yeah, what a great race. I mean, again, these top three guys going for the win. Sam Mayer, I think he's closed the gap a little bit. It's early in this run, but Sam's able to stay right with them.
You can see 8 laps to go at the top of our graphic in stage number 1. But that's over 32 miles. It's a long way around Road America.
It's like 3 sprint races. It really is. These are 3 very short runs, but there was 4 seconds of tire fall off in the first run. So the first lap, they ran a speed, and on the 10th lap, it was 4 seconds slower. So that shows you how much the tires are changing. And from a driver, DJ, that means that every corner you drive it differently. Every time you go to that corner, it's different because your car doesn't make the grip that it had the last time.
Yeah, we'll have to watch here as these laps wind down towards the end of this stage 1. Will AJ's car hang on better than it did in that first 10 lap segment that we have? And the other side of it is we can see Justin Allgaier. He has something that every driver wants. He has speed and longevity in that race car. That'll be hard to beat. It's a great battle here for fourth.
Better exit of the corner down there by Sage Karam than it was for Sam Mayer. Mayer in the blue car battling back on the outside. Will Stage hold it down? Now John Hunter Nemechek trying to make a move on Riley Herbst. All this into turn 1. Contact.
And that was an aggressive move by the 20 of Nemechek. Sam Mayer missed turn 14, and that allowed Sage Karam to take that spot. But John Hunter just took it. He just went and just overdrove the entry, smoke flying off the tires, made it work to get by the 98.
Yeah, he just has to hope that that wasn't a front tire that maybe locked up a little too much. And as Matt was talking about just a little bit ago, the one thing the drivers can't do, and that's flat spot these tires.
And that has lost momentum for Riley Herbst. Now he is fighting off Kaz Grala. Big braking zone right here. A little bit of contact, but running him high. Now Kaz is upset. Hey man, you didn't have to do that to me. Cole Custer getting by the 10 of Allmendinger for second. There's a lot happening.
Yes, there is, and all at the front of the grid. On track, still 32 cars running. Actually, there's more than that. Just a couple not running at the moment, gone to the garage area. Great action up here at the front. Now Sage Karam trying to pull out a little distance from himself, from Sam Mayer, and from Nemechek, and from Herbst. Can Herbst recover? Now back to 7th. And what of Austin Hill in the 21 car? There he is, started 14th, not completely impressed with that qualifying run of his. But he wasn't, but he's gained positions now, trying to gain some more points.
You know, he said in the interview before the race, you know, if they can get some stage points, both stages, and then get a top 10 run. He knew that his car wasn't great here this weekend, so you just have to minimize any damages as far as how many points you might lose to John Hunter Nemechek in that 20 car.
Connor Mosack and Sammy Smith, good teammate battle right there.
Yeah, how about Sammy Smith has come from starting in the back towards the back and driven up to 11th. Possibly could get inside the top 10 before the end of stage 1.
Take care of those tires, Sammy.
You can see behind him there with the car sideways.
Okay, we'll give each other a little space here.
See the 2-car Creed with some front end damage. Josh Bilicki with a good run, running 14th under attack from Hemrick. Josh Bilicki's doing a good job here today.
Bilicki in the 91, Hemrick in the 11. Remember, Hemrick, this team had to change motors, therefore had to start at the back by rule. So former champion of this series in the 11 car, Daniel Hemrick, now making his way forward. Winding down stage 1, Justin Allgaier has taken control. He's chased by Custer and Allmendinger. It's fast, it's loud, it's a party. IndyCar racing returns to the streets of Nashville August 6th on NBC and Peacock. It's a little louder than paddleboarding on Elkhart Lake. A little faster too.
Definitely.
Welcome back to the Road America 180 from Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. A beautiful setting. And it's been a beautiful race for Justin Allgaier as he's just got a few laps left in stage number 1 to collect valuable stage points. And also, if you win a stage, you get a playoff point, which can carry you all the way through the playoffs. Those are big.
Yeah, it means a great deal also to have the pace to be able to drive away from Cole Custer, who's won road course races this year, Allmendinger, who's been incredibly fast. This battle for 11th and 12th. And Parker taking a little bit of look at Connor Mozak. Parker in that 48 car. I know we keep talking about it, but it matters. 1 point matters. Riley Herbst running 6. He's in position to get stage points. Parker Kligerman is not right now. He's got to go get by 2 drivers if he's going to get any stage points.
And Mozak in the blue and red 19, he is not racing for the championship. He'll get those stage points if he earns that spot. He'll take him away from Parker, if you will, but not running for the championship like Parker is.
And Parker can see them. Those 2 spots right there.
Yeah.
Those 2 cars, that's them.
But Sammy Smith is going to be, I mean, even if he gets by Connor Mozak here, going up and passing Sammy Smith is going to be tough because he has been on a mission in this first stage and has done a great job to drive himself inside the top 10.
Parker driving for Scott Borchetta and that team. First full-time ride for Parker in quite some time. Good to see it this season. Would like to put that car in the playoffs if he can. He's letting Mozak know that I'm on your tail, bud.
Yeah, I thought Parker might push the issue right there, but decided to leave that move till later.
Yeah, and I'm shocked we haven't had a caution. I mean, as much chaos as we saw yesterday, and every driver we spoke to talked about how slick this racetrack is. But now that we're into this race and now points are going to start being paid in 4 laps for a stage end, you're going to start pushing it. Here's Parker Kligerman. He's getting offline, trying to make something happen with Connor Mozak. I don't think he was comfortable doing this early in the race, and now he's gained some confidence.
And Parker told me before the race today, I think we're a little bit better than where we qualified. We saw where we were missing. I think the race car is going to be better. He also said, I don't think I need to make a whole lot up in that first stage or in that first stint before the first competition caution. His goal was to make up about 3 positions each stage, be close, maybe somewhere around top 5, top 8, and then you can have a chance to get a really good result at the end. He's also in that camp that said, I expect a lot of attrition today and a lot of carnage. We've not seen that so far, but a long way to go.
That's right, only 1 car out of the race, Kevin, at this point. That's Catherine Legg's car. Kyle Sieg is back on track for RSS Racing. He had an issue earlier with his brakes. And the wounded 2 car of Sheldon Creed continues to make laps. Doesn't really have the speed. It doesn't look like that he's going to need to run in the top 5 today.
Well, there's nothing beneficial about what you can see on the front of that there. So, you know, they were already struggling with their car, and then to have that damage, you're just taking away speed right there. So making for a very, very difficult day. And I would have to say that probably Sheldon Creed and his team, who came in here with a pretty decent lead as far as being on the bubble, they don't want to give away any more points than what they have to.
Came in plus 49 to the cutoff line. Remember, just 12 cars, 12 drivers go to the playoffs in the Xfinity Series. 16 in Cup, just 12 here. So it's a tighter group, and right now Sheldon is in position 11. 49 points to the good as the day started.
You can see behind them, there's Daniel Hemrick, done a nice job driving up through the field. Josh Palicki, that red and white car, that's Jeb Burton. Jeb's having a good day, so they're running 16th. That team's done a good job this year. They've run the most laps of everybody in the series, and for a young team trying to establish themselves in this series, that's so important. And running well also. He's won a race earlier this year, sitting there running 16th on a road course, and getting laps in. It matters so much, DJ, to help build you as a solid race team rather than constantly fixing race cars.
Yeah, and I think that's probably been something that Jeb has found, that, hey, the more laps I get here, the better I'm becoming. And with this race team, we're not tearing stuff up, so we can improve week to week. And you really see that here. They've got themselves into the playoffs with that win. So a lot of good things happening for this young race team and driver.
Yeah, behind him, Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith, a young race car driver. He has a lot of speed. learning these road courses, not quite the experience on road courses that a lot of people that he's racing around. You see him race. Oh, no, trouble right there. Something coming off of the car of Chandler
Hopefully
Smith.
it's not a brake rotor.
No brakes.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Chandler Smith hard into the wall heading into turn number 1. Jeff, it looks like he applied the brakes there and shattered the rotor.
That is exactly what happened. And a wise move by Chandler Smith.
Yep.
When that happened, I am pretty sure he turned the car left to make contact with the wall. Now that is exceptionally difficult to do, but if he doesn't do that, that's what the black wall, that's what he hits head on. Instead, he turns the car to the left, gets it into the wall, scrubs the speed off of it, and never makes head-on contact.
You see the foam that came out of the car, that is between the driver's compartment. Good news there. Chandler Smith climbing out after scrubbing the wall, taking off the outside bodywork.
I'm telling you what Jeff pointed out right there. Now that he's out and we see that, watch as this happens. And he realizes at this point, once this starts to happen and he's got no brakes, that what was ahead of him was not a good situation. No way of slowing this car down from this point other than watch the left turn right here.
Scrub speed off on the wall. Oh, that's still a hard hit on the driver's side.
It's exceptionally hard, and I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you make yourself do that. And for a young race car driver to have the wisdom to do that. See, the car doesn't drop or anything. He turns the car over there. I was questioning whether he knew to do that or not, but every indication says that was on purpose.
Just destroyed that Camaro. He's a teammate, by the way, to A.J. Allmendinger in the race today. He's already won a race. Here it is in real time.
So this thing, it just explodes. He's on the brake, tons of heat in the brake rotor. The brake rotor explodes. You hope Josh Berry didn't get any damage, and now he knows he's not stopping.
Yeah, look at the speed of that car at that point still.
Wow. And the noise from inside the race car when that happens, it is an explosion, and it scares you to death when it first happens. It is, you can't, it's so loud and so violent and so immediate, it's impossible to describe what that feels and sounds like.
The best news of all is that Chandler Smith hopped out of this car, the AMR safety team quickly to his aid, but we saw Chandler get out under his own power. Now he'll go get checked out by the medical officials on site. So Chandler Smith's car will be towed away. A few bits and pieces, but thankful that the driver is okay after this huge impact at Road America. Caution out at Road America for a big accident for Chandler Smith as the stage gets close to completion here, stage 1 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. This is what happened to Chandler coming down the front straightaway.
He applies the brakes, and when he does, the brake rotor explodes. Now no braking force whatsoever, and we believe he intentionally turns the car to the left to scrub the speed off so that it doesn't go head on into the wall.
Dale Jarrett, have you made that choice before when you drove?
No, I don't know that I could have thought that fast that that's what I needed to do, But you look ahead at what was facing. I just admire this young man for what we think that we know it that he did to avoid what. This is all dangerous, but a much more dangerous situation because that sand would have not even slowed him down. We're talking about the fastest part of the racetrack right there, the high speed that you get, and with no brakes.
There is sand to slow the car before a tire barrier, but then it's concrete after that, and I don't think you want to be there.
You also have to wonder, his teammate, A.J. Allmendinger, has been complaining about brakes.
Yeah.
And that has to be of concern for the 10 car of Allmendinger. And, what can you do to prevent that from happening? Typically those things explode because you have these are long straightaways. They get cold and then they get super hot all at once. And you may want to actually put some cover the brake cooling up some. Now that seems counterintuitive to make it hotter, and that's the problem. You don't really know how to prevent that from happening.
So as the field comes through the final corner and up toward the start-finish line, it will end stage number 1, and Justin Allgaier will get those valuable stage points and that even more valuable playoff point by finishing first. Justin has some this year. He's not got the most. He's only got 10 coming into today. The most is John Hunter Nemechek with 24 heading toward the playoffs, so he'll be glad to add one more today.
Well, John Hunter's going to finish 4th in this stage, and I think he's got a very fast race car.
Yeah.
We haven't seen the end of him. And again, that battle that we keep talking about between Parker Kligerman and Riley Herbst. Riley finished 6th. Parker finishes 11th. Riley gets points. None for Parker.
And 2 cars, Sage Karam and Kaz Grala, from Sam Hunt Racing finishing in the top 10, Kevin.
So I think that gives us a good opportunity to talk to Sam Hunt. What do you make about what your Toyotas are doing so far here? And is there even a better opportunity to move up higher?
Yeah, I think we've just been really pleased with the progress we've seen, especially in our road course program. We put a lot of work into it the last couple of weeks. Sage and Kaz have done a phenomenal job all weekend, and yeah, a lot of racing left, but both of them are really happy with their GR Supras right now. So just happy to see progress. Thankful for everybody that believes in this program. I feel like I don't really deserve credit for any of this. I've just got a lot of good people here and back home that make this thing work.
Sage tells me you guys have been talking for a while about trying to find an opportunity to work together. This is a pretty good first run, isn't it? What do you make of what he's been able to bring to the program just for a couple of days?
Yeah, it's been incredible. I've always thought a lot of Sage. He's seemed to show speed really with anything he gets in, and we've been talking about an opportunity for a long time, and we were able to put a unique one together this weekend, and I'm glad we did, because he's definitely helping our program already and competing for a win today, which is special.
Good start for Sage Karam and Kaz Grala. Dave.
Kevin, his best finish so far this year, 22nd at the street course of Chicago. So a nice big improvement for Sage Karam. Justin Allgaier wins stage 1.
He's always right. All the buddies know, and he's always right.
Now here comes Denny Hamlin to the inside.
He runs the 5 wide, almost into the fence.
So I'm sure he was in the right there as well.
Did he have a right to be mad at you?
Larson loses the lead. Hamlin's out front.
Both guys wrecked themselves.
I've been cost a lot of good finishes by him throughout my career.
I didn't hit either one of them. Didn't touch him.
And I know he says I race a certain way, but I don't think I've ever had to apologize to him about anything.
But look at that. Wow, he is angry.
Not that I'm sure he's going to say sorry after this. Yeah, we're friends. Yes, this makes things awkward, but whatever.
Cup Series racing on USA. That is tomorrow, and all that drama that we saw starting last week at Pocono. It may linger. We think that it could. And you'll know starting in Countdown to Green, 2:30 on the USA Network. The race follows, and then, of course, the NASCAR America post-race on USA and Peacock. Tyler Reddick's on pole for that race, but guys, our bubble drivers, Bubba Wallace, who is 15th, he is 5th starting. The Michael McDowell starts 18th. The one who is in a little trouble, Daniel Suarez, starts 33rd, and he went in 17th, just below the line. And, of course, A.J. Allmendinger, 18th. Racing here today, he'll start in the back. All cars will come to a stop now for pit stops. Again, a little bit different procedure here. Without the high-speed pit crews, crews will have a good amount of time here to go to work on their cars. The main thing, Matt, is what do you want better if you're the driver?
Absolutely, Dave, and they're all waiting for the sign from the official. He gives them the go, so they can now proceed to service the race car. Everything going according to plan so far for the 7 of Justin Allgaier. Very pleased with the pace and the feel that he has in that 7 car. It started a little bit more on the tighter side than he would have preferred on this run, but overall he likes how it's working, especially in the brake zones. Kevin?
Cole Custer in the 00 says he's a little bit too free, but he's concerned about how much of a change to make because he doesn't want to hurt the entry to turn 3. They think their car is good. If they can get up and around Allgaier, they think they might be better than him. Meanwhile, right behind him, teammate Riley Herbst is dealing with overheating brakes a little bit, really struggling to stop, so they're going to adjust the tape a little bit. Also going to go back to the way the car was before. He's dropped a couple of spots back to 6. They think they can get him back up there. The way the race started, they think the car is really good and can move forward, Matt.
And meanwhile, down here in the 10 of A.J. Allmendinger, the guy that everybody pointed to as the person to beat coming in, especially over that run in qualifying. At this point, though, the biggest issue for the 10 is they're chasing an electrical issue, which he cannot run all of the fans that he would like to run on this 10. Had a long conversation with Chris Rice a few moments ago, and they're having to kind of rotate what they turn on the car. Overall balance is sort of there, but it does not have the feel and the grip that he would like. Allmendinger, the biggest issue, Chris Rice told me, is they're trying to calm the driver down. So much high expectations coming in and all these issues so early on, Dave, as the driver a little bit sideways here in the 10.
Oh, man, I can imagine. Jeff, what's he going through and what's the crew doing?
Well, so because of the electrical issue, they're afraid to turn the car off because with an electrical issue, if you turn it off, it might not get started. So you can hear it running. So you can see what the pit crew has done. They've got fans, and they pointed them into the ductwork that blows air into the radiator so the engine won't overheat.
And the brakes.
And yes, the brakes are certainly, they're obviously not getting hotter sitting here, but just trying to get air through them. And that may have something to do with the teammate Chandler Smith having a brake issue, just trying to get heat out of them. But it's little things like this. It's not, you don't think it's a big deal, but if you roll out on a racetrack and your water temp's too high and it never comes back down, then that can affect the way the car drives. I'm sorry, the way the reliability of the engine.
So, Dale, what do you think? These stops now, which have a lot of time and you don't lose your place on track, as long as they stay within the max time there, this is probably an advantage to him having these stops today.
Well, it could work. We'll see exactly how this works out. What it is doing is allowing them to see if they can maybe diagnose and possibly fix the problem. Because normally, under normal circumstances, they wouldn't even be thinking about trying to fix this and diagnose that. The time goes by pretty quickly, but you have high expectations coming in here. Everybody made him a huge favorite to win this. AJ made himself a huge favorite. You know, his expectations coming here were, hey, they're going to have to come beat me. Well, so far, you know, he's struggled in this first stage to make things happen the way that he wants to.
AJ works his way back up to the front where he finished. We'll work our way to a commercial and come back and get stage 2 started. Download the official app of NASCAR and follow the action with free live scoring, in-car cameras, and radio broadcast. Upgrade to premium for full access to driver audio channels and a completely ad-free experience. Search NASCAR in your app store to download and start a free trial today. And you could even play Toss the Water Bottle while you're on the app, I think.
Yeah, it looks like somebody left the football at home.
Got to get creative when you're camping, right?
Sure.
Why not? Beautiful day at Elkhart Lakes Road America. The NASCAR Xfinity Series here for the 14th time. And Matt, it's been kind of a strange day for colleague racing on several fronts.
Chris Rice, the team president, much more like running air traffic control, the different issues between A.J. Allmendinger's car, but also Chandler Smith. Let's first talk about Smith's machine. Any concern as far as the issue that he had maybe going on with Allmendinger's car?
I don't think so. We get those brakes pretty hot on Chandler's car, and it's good that we build safe race cars, because that was something we don't like to see at colleague racing. So I'm glad Chandler got out, and it looked like it exploded a rotor. Maybe we had a bad rotor. Maybe we had a bad batch of them, but no, I don't feel like that's a problem. We having all kinds of electrical issues with AJ's car. We had them at Sonoma, and obviously we didn't get them fixed, so we got to go back to the drawing board on that. But thanks to Matt Collick for letting us use AJ Allmendinger up here, and we just can't conquer this place. This is one of the places that's been tough, and but everybody at colleague racing, we're going to work hard to leaf filter gutter protection and leaf water solutions. That Chevy is not going to give up. We don't give up at colleague racing, so just glad Chandler's okay, and we can fix race cars and can't fix drivers, you know.
Okay, the SMT data showed that he was well over 170 miles an hour when those issues took place for Chandler Smith.
Wow,
what
Matt,
a testament to how they build these machines.
Yep, here's the wreck again, Matt Yoakum. Appreciate that interview. That's where the brake rotor Chris talked about it shattered, Jeff.
Yeah, and we believe that Chandler turned the car to the left to lessen the impact. We didn't see the car drop on the front, so we don't see any indication that the car veered to the left by itself. A bold move and a brave move to do it.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, I don't know I could have ever got myself there.
Talk about the courage that it takes to drive these cars. It's enough courage when things are going right, but to be able to think that quickly as we get ready to go back to green is quite amazing.
Front row thinking quickly now. Stage winner Justin Allgaier in the red number 7. Cole Custer in the white Mustang to his side. Green is back out. Stage 2 begins. And they are packed tight heading down into turn number 1. Over 170 miles per hour. Allgaier's going to have the advantage. Now the inside. It is the 10 of Allmendinger challenging Cole Custer. Allmendinger gets second. Oh, trouble. Riley Herbst is going to get spun around after contact.
Oh, and more damage to his car, the 43 car. Ryan Ellis came in there and hit him late.
Yeah, that's the damage that could really put a hamper and make a bad day for Riley Herbst. He was in that battle for the final spot.
That looks like Sheldon Creed with more damage to the 2 car. He's smoking.
Yeah, the back of his car has a lot of damage to it. Quarter panels dragging the tires. That's where the smoke is coming from.
Yeah, that's the drivers in 11th and 12th that we're talking about here as we talk about the playoff situation.
Yeah, Riley Herbst sitting stopped on the racetrack right now, trying to get it fired back up. He had contact with John Hunter Nemechek. Not sure what started it.
Now we mentioned them all coming back to the start of stage 2. 2 by 2. Oh, a whole lot of contact and opportunity for mistakes.
As we watch those roll by, you can see that Parker Kligerman, the other person that we were talking that sits 13th right outside of the playoff, he's right there with John Hunter Nemechek as we see the 98 still not able to go. They're going to have to soon make that decision to throw the caution here.
You can see the points as they run on the left. Parker would be in good shape there. Riley not so much. Still trying to get that 98 car fired. And now NASCAR, they could not hold the yellow any longer. They had to throw it.
NASCAR holding the caution for as long as they could to give Riley a chance to get fired back up. Here's where it started. Oh, I feel like John Hunter, I think there was some contact from behind into the back of John Hunter, and that got him up the racetrack into the side of Riley Herbst.
Yeah, you can see that he moved over a good half lane there, and it probably did come from that contact.
Kaz Gralla was right behind John Hunter Nemechek. And Jeff, why won't it? Oh, well, let's look at it one more time.
Let's see right here. You can see. Watch John Hunter's car move right here.
Oh, it looks like maybe Gralla got hit
the
too.
back end.
I wonder if Gralla got hit by Mayer as well.
Yeah, that's very possible too. Just chain reaction. You know, that's what we see on here, these road courses a lot.
And the 21 car.
Yeah, Austin Hill.
Off in the grass. You wonder if there's any damage there.
And there's Ryan Ellis joining the scene late in the Alpha Prime 43.
Yeah, I don't think that the contact there would be any reason for the car not to refire with that, but I think that it did create a lot of damage to the 98 that he didn't have until that contact.
And Jeff, I was going to ask you, why doesn't a car refire once it's spun around and loses the fire?
It could be several reasons. It could have created an electrical issue. It could have had a connection now is loose on the battery. There are times, and I don't know why, but there's been multiple times that I've been in spins or wrecks and I couldn't get it to fire back up, and never really understood why.
Yeah, they just have a mind of their own sometimes, you know. And as much as we want the answer immediately, it doesn't come about sometimes.
Now Riley tried to get it going, he could not, and so NASCAR puts the caution out just as stage 2 is getting started here at Road America.
Yeah, that cost Austin Hill a ton of spots. Also,
Wow.
He's all the way back to 27th. Just got off track and just had to stop, and everybody went by him.
All right, the AMR safety team assisting Riley Herbst, gets him going again. Allgaier holds the lead. We'll come back and see the restart. Walking around Elkhart Lake is always a great idea, especially when you can get to Gessert's for a little ice cream. DJ, you and I have had a chance to do that before.
Yeah, I think I might just go with a sundae.
Jeff, what would you choose there by the counter there? What flavor?
I was there last year, and there was multiple choices. I think I went with vanilla. I think I was pretty calm there.
You were very vanilla. Now, if you're here at the track, here's the deal, and I think I would go for the ice cream sandwich because the word giant is on it. That'd be good.
Yeah, $7 breakfast sandwich. That sounds good.
Man.
Ice cream sandwich for $4.
And we know from experience, folks, the food here is awesome at the track. You can get your brats, you can get your fill of brats, and I even had a mac and cheese here once that was unbelievably loaded good. So make sure you get to Road America at some point and enjoy the great racing. Under caution, pits are open. Not sure that you would pit here unless you've got damage. We noticed Sheldon Creed's car was quite damaged. This is Riley Herbst getting repairs now.
Yeah, you know, frustration level is pretty high right here on the 98 car. He's done a nice job today at good speed, qualified well, doing everything he needed to do, and I didn't see he did anything wrong there. And the people behind him didn't mean to get into him. It was just a heavy braking zone. Guys, you know, having trouble getting their cars slowed down. Others running into each other. That's just what's frustrating about road course racing. Tight corners, heavy braking zones, contact is made, and you come out on the short end of the stick.
Yeah, it's called a restart these days. Yeah, it's, I mean, not any different than the days that we had, Jeff. But yeah, it's just one of the most frustrating things. I mean, we both had situations where we ran all day and get spun out on the last lap. But you know, this was especially for Riley Herbst in this situation. You know, he's in a battle, and as you pointed out, having a really, really good day.
So now Parker Kligerman sitting here running in 8th spot.
Yeah.
Like, this is your shot. Like, you need to take advantage of this. You got an opportunity. Go execute here. Go make something happen and get these spots. You can't control what Riley Herbst does and how many cars he can drive up through, but what you can do is control what you can do. We know he's a good road racer, but it's execution time right now for Parker and his team. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, no mistakes is the biggest thing. You got to be somewhat aggressive, but you have to take advantage of this situation today.
You can see most everyone stayed out. The two of Sheldon Creed did come down pit road. Jeff, you could make repairs, or you could put on tires here. You can't fuel the car unless it is a stage break or a competition caution.
Yeah, and that's the key. It's not being able to fuel the car. That means, you know, you probably can't go from here until the end of the race without running out of fuel.
Yeah, you can see the 2 car here with damage on the right rear. They wanted to make sure that they weren't going to get a tire. How about it, Matt?
And that's exactly right, DJ. They wanted to take off that tire, try to work on the sheet metal around the wheel well opening. They felt like, judging from our video, that the tire was damaged. They're going to try to put a new one on here once they get repairs fixed on that quarter panel. But boy, what a weekend that they've had. Second day in a row where they've had issues in the back end of the race car. Hold the nose when he checked up someone in front of him. I believe it was Nemechek. He bumper tagged him. Then that just started their day going in the wrong direction.
Kevin Lee, how about your side of things? Sorry, Kev.
Let's update one of the cars that was trying to point their way, and it was going to be tough for Brett Moffitt to be able to get that done. He was, I think, 49 to the cut line coming in. Probably needs a win. Neither is going to be an opportunity today. He went to the garage before the end of the first stage, started losing power. They had worked their way up to about 12th drivetrain issue, so he's out.
And that's huge. I mean, Moffitt is fast. He was 2 below the cut line. He needed points, and he won't get them today. We saw the big accident from Chandler Smith that brought out a caution. Matt Yoakum, we are glad to say that you have found Chandler Smith. Let's hear from him.
Absolutely, Dave. Couldn't say those sentiments any stronger than what you mentioned. Chandler, first, looking at the car, the destruction has taken place. Walk us through what happened. Did the brakes go all at once, or were they working toward that?
I wouldn't say they were working towards that. I definitely was having some brake fade throughout the runs and whatnot, but I didn't think that I was abusing them by any means like that to make them fail on me. But I was going up the hill in the front stretch, right when I tipped over the hill, I heard something snap in half, and then I felt something come off of the car. And it's like the whole front nose just dropped when that happened. And when that happened, I was like, what in the world was that? And I had to keep pumping the brakes, going down the straightaways anyways as it was at that point of the run. I went to pump them, and there was nothing there. And I just trying to scrub speed at that point. I don't know if that was a smart thing on my end, to be honest with you, because there's no safety barriers there. And one could argue the sand would have stopped me, a softer hit or whatever, but just muscle memory, you lose brakes like that, you want to try to scrub as much speed as you can. So that's what I try to do. I hate it for all my guys. This quick type product, Chevy Camaro, we got it a little bit better there that last run. So I hate it for my guys. I hate it for all the fans here that came out and are having a good time.
Very calm when a situation like that happens, but you're not expecting it to, and you don't experience it often. SMT data says you were doing almost 170 miles an hour when that took place. What went through your mind when you reached down and you didn't have any brakes? Did you ever experience something like this before?
The only thing I've experienced like this was when my throttle stuck, and honestly, I've experienced both now. Losing your brakes is a lot worse than having your throttle stick, because you can press your big old red button, it'll cut it off. If you're fast enough, you can turn the car off and be fine. You can hit the brakes, slow down. This deal, you ain't slowing down at all. So losing brakes is a lot worse than having your throttle stick, but I don't know. It just sucks for my guys. I hate it. This car is destroyed to pieces, and stuff's a lot of money to put back together. So.
What smart thinking, though, by this young man, Dave, to try to scrub off as much speed as he could do to lessen the impact when he did hit that safer barrier.
Thanks, Matt. Jeff, you talked about it. It's a snap decision.
It is, and he's questioning, DJ, whether he did the right thing. And my response to him would be, hey, you walked out of the infield care center. You did the right thing, right? You don't know what would have happened if you hadn't have done it. And when you lose brakes and the car is hardly slowing down at all, yes, it would have slowed down through that sand pit, but still would have been a hit on impact.
Yeah, not much. Yeah, let's just think back. Remember Jimmy Johnson in his Xfinity career at Watkins Glen, where he lost his brakes there, I believe it was, and you pretty much went over the sand and into the barrier. And I think this barrier maybe a little less forgiving than what that was. Young man Chandler Smith did the right thing here. As you pointed out, he's standing here giving us a play-by-play description of what it went through. Just admiring. But to be this young, I mean, you know, if you've been a veteran and been through a lot of situations like this, then you might say, okay, that's one thing. But to be thinking that far ahead with that, just glad he's okay. And, you know, it's a young man that's going to be in the playoffs and a great future ahead of him.
DJ, what was your hardest hit?
Probably one that I don't remember. There's too many to think about. But, yeah, I had an accident our first race in Kansas that got turned late and hit the wall with the left side. And it gave me a concussion that wiped out 5 days of my life that I don't even remember what happened. So, yeah, it didn't hurt physically, but I just don't remember that.
Always glad when these drivers can walk away. Thanks to NASCAR for all the work on safety over the years and for all the work on speed, because Stage 2 is going to get rolling again. Justin Allgaier to the gas, but on his outside, it is A.J. Allmendinger. Allmendinger hanging tough, and he's going to go way wide. Custer and Gralla will get through. Kaz Gralla's red 26 to third place.
Allmendinger just got back in the throttle too quickly. Now he's under assault. He lost all his momentum. Looked at 3 wide down this backstretch.
Yeah, I think AJ knew that was his chance. He needed to try to take advantage of that to get in front of Justin Allgaier, and it cost him dearly here.
Side by side, Sage Karam on the inside in the black 24. Sam Mayer to his outside. Karam will get the advantage. Oh, and now Mayer working his way around. He'll get a little contact from Allmendinger trying to come back.
Yeah, those are teammates. Two Joe Gibbs Racing teammates banging into each other off turn 5.
Parker Kligerman getting around Sam Mayer. That will put him to 6th. Jeff Burton trying to make a move down the inside of Josh Balicki. Good racing right there by both of them.
You can see the aggression levels picked up. This is a different race than what we saw at the early portion of it. Everybody's gaining confidence in what their cars will do. and they're trying to find a limit while racing and trying to pick up spots on restarts.
Yeah, I think their confidence level has gone up too, that there's more grip out there than what they saw as they got on the track yesterday. So that's allowing them to put on a heck of a race. Well, as we see someone go off here.
That's John Hunter Nemechek. And that's in the kink. That's that part of the racetrack that if you missed the early part of it, you run right off course.
Yeah, that's about the best that you could go off track there and come out the other side.
Watch what happened here to John Hunter. Oh, he gets it wide all the way in the grass.
That was the least amount of damage we've seen from any car in the grass over there.
Kept it off the barriers, continues on. Side by side for third and fourth, fifth, sixth.
Sam Hunt, the owner of these two cars, is saying, okay, don't wreck. I love you racing for third, but let's be smart here.
They're trying to be smart. Parker Kligerman looking at fifth. He can't get it from Allmendinger. Yeah, we talked to Sam Hunt earlier. Nothing makes an owner more nervous, Jeff, right, than seeing your two cars battling on track.
Oh, yeah. You want them to battle, but you want them to be clean, respectful. See that 8 car, Josh Berry. He started in the back. He's worked himself up into the top 10.
Patiently moving forward. If you're just joining us, a lot of damage in practice yesterday. Several cars went to the back. Then cars went to the back for unapproved adjustments. Then a couple of cars had to change motors for things like this. John Hunter and Nemechek off track again. So that was very mixed up at the beginning of the day. Some of the fast cars like Josh Berry starting in the back, and Berry now is up to 8th.
You have to wonder if that contact that John Hunter had with the 98 car earlier might have done a little something to the front end. He just hasn't seemed to have the handle, because we thought what we saw in stage 1 that this was a driver who's going to have to be contended with.
Yeah, you see, that's turn 5 where it's a heavy braking zone. If you get your right sides on the curve, it's hard to get it slowed down. Just completely missed the corner. And now he was right on the bumper of Jeb Burton in the 27 car, but Jeb's driving away from John Hunter. And John Hunter at one point we thought had a car that might could contend for this race, win. So I think, DJ, you're right. There was something's happened to this car. It's nowhere near as good as it was.
Well, you probably throw in maybe not as good and a driver that's maybe pressing a little bit harder now, or was until he lost these last 3 or 4 spots that he lost there.
Look at these two Toyotas, so fun. Sage Karam in the 24. He's from Pennsylvania. Grew up racing go-karts with Marco Andretti. Yes, that Andretti family. Made his way to IndyCar. Now finding his way into stock cars and other forms of racing. Kaz Grala behind him from Massachusetts. He and his dad started out endurance racing together. And now Kaz is at the NASCAR Xfinity Series level. See stage 2 winding down, 5 to go here at Road America. And Justin Allgaier looking for another playoff point if he can win stage 2. A chance to position himself for the race win today. Let's hear more about Sam Mayer, Matt.
What an impressive little race Sam Mayer has put together here. Now, during the first stage, the car was just too tight. Marty Lindley felt like they maybe started the pressures too low, so it never got to exactly what Sam was looking for balance-wise. They fixed that for this stage, and so far he's been hovering right there in the middle of the top 10. But the biggest thing is that he lost a spot or two early on because he missed his marks. And drivers, they try to find different marks around the racetrack as far as braking points and getting back in the gas. But he got back into his rhythm, and both for Jeff and DJ, you guys in your library of experiences through all your careers, much easier to get back into rhythm, or is it much more difficult depending on if you're a rhythm racer? Were you guys rhythm racers?
Oh, I definitely was. Yeah, I wasn't good at just going, I was no Mark Martin by any means, where you can just, any track, anytime, just go fire off and go. I needed that to get in that rhythm, and sometimes it took a little bit of time, but yeah, it's I think most drivers like to be able to get in that.
My miserable qualifying record confirmed that I was definitely a rhythm driver.
The humble words of Jeff Burton.
Humble but true.
Can't deny it. Justin Allgaier's in the rhythm up front. He still leads in Wisconsin. Chaos at Road America. John Hunter Nemechek, the championship leader, on pit lane now after an off and damage to his Toyota. And then behind him, more chaos as cars began spinning from the fluid left on the track.
Yeah, you can see all the damage, Jeff.
And whenever he ran into, ripped the entire splitter off the bottom of the car, and on that bar sits the radiator, the oil cooler, and all of that appears to have gotten ripped out of the car. There's the oil and water coming out of it. Here it is. Oh gosh.
Yeah, we talked about yesterday as we watched Ryan Sieg just get off that the damage just, you don't have to hit a wall. Just getting off the course and what damage you could get. And then, of course, we see all of the oil you can see right there. And then drivers behind you can see Austin Hill's going to come by here. Riley Herbst is going to spin out.
And Riley had gotten all the way back up to 18 from starting in the back, and now gave it all up again. Watch this right here. Off course, digs in and just rips the entire splitter bar off of it. And with it, all of the cooling for the engine. Oh, that is a hard hit as well. I mean, not just the damage to the car, but for John Hunter, that is a huge hit.
I mean, what's that feel like, Jeff? It almost, it's a jarring bolt.
Oh yeah, those types of wrecks actually hurt a great deal, and you're not expecting them. That's the thing. Like when you know you're going to hit the wall, you brace yourself. Those you don't know is coming. You're still holding on to the wheel, and it just digs in
Track cleanup continuing now.
That is just something that we saw yesterday. Several cars ran off track. It ripped the left front fenders off of them, ripped the splitter bars off, but that one is by far the worst.
And right before that, we saw Austin Hill making up spots on track, and the deficit that he had to John Hunter Nemechek, again, top 2 in the championship, was decreasing. And then all this happened to John Hunter, and Hill is still out there running.
Well, and the question is, can they get this track cleaned up?
Yeah.
With 3 to go in this stage, can they get it cleaned up in time to drop the green flag? It's a very long racetrack, and it takes forever to get around. They're just coming into turn 12 now, 14-turn course, so they'll be coming to the start-finish line, in about a minute, and that'll be 2 to go. So they'll have to clean it up within that lap to be able to drop the green flag with 1 to go. Don't know if they'll be able to make that or not.
More action on track right before the caution. Here's AJ racing with Sam Mayer. That's in turn 1. Same thing that happened on the restart.
Very similar to what happened on the restart. AJ's car just isn't there today, and it just doesn't have the speed. Now they've lined him back up in front of the 1 car and in front of the 48 car. So what tells me is that he had passed the scoring loop and then the caution came out.
Yeah, it just seems that they do have some brake issues going on that they just can't attack the way that their drivers want to.
The damaged car of John Hunter Nemechek now in the garage area and done for the day because of this wild ride coming out of turn 13.
The first name on the winner's trophy at Road America will be Carl Edwards.
Reed Sorensen.
Nelson Piquet wrapping himself in the Brazilian flag.
AJ Allmendinger at Road America. is Brendan Gaughan.
Paul Menard is going to win at Road America.
Michael McDowell, the winner today. Unbelievable finish. Jeremy Clements has made it.
Heck of a job, boys.
There's your Road America winner, Justin Allgaier.
Christopher Bell wins.
Austin Cindric of Team Penske. Kyle Busch wins at Road America.
Ty Gibbs pulling away from Kyle Larson.
"13 Xfinity races at Road America, 13 different winners. There are a couple of drivers running up front in position to spoil that. Justin Allgaier running first, AJ Allmendinger running fifth. We'll see if they can be 14 for 14 at Road America. So glad you could join us this afternoon. Dave Burns, Jeff Burton, Dale Jarrett in the booth. Kevin Lee, Matt Yoakum tracking down everything on pit road. The cars are under their 4th caution of the day for a big wreck by John Hunter Nemechek off track and through the grass. Tore that car apart, and then others got involved from the fluid laid on the track. And this has implications as we look at the points as they run. That cut line there, remember 12 drivers go to the playoffs. Looking very interesting.
That regular season championship last week, John Hunter Nemechek lost 20 points at Pocono. He came into that race 33 points ahead, left 13 points ahead, and now clearly out of the race at Austin Hill, still on racetrack. Could be another big loss for him.
Yeah, he could definitely lose the points lead. Probably will lose the points lead.
Here's the wreck again for Nemechek. And remember, Nemechek and Hill, they're both comfortably to the playoffs, but the regular season championship is worth a bunch. First to second is a difference of 5 playoff points, so it's very significant. So that driver is with Kevin Lee now.
He is. It was adventurous. It was going really well. What were the different issues? Was there a mechanical issue that led you to that final off?
I think I just made a mistake, I guess, and it kind of went straight, jumped the access road. Our guys brought a really fast Mobil 1 Toyota GR Supra today. The long run was as fast as the Xfinity 10G, but just frustrating on restarts, getting used up. Who needs enemies when you have teammates?
Okay, thank you, John Hunter.
Well then, I'm looking on the board here. I'm not sure where he restarted. Connor Mosak is his teammate this weekend, as is Sammy Smith. We'll try to find that as the field chooses which line they want to restart in. Going to either side of the choose line and coming back to the green flag. Unhappy John Hunter Nemechek.
Definitely that. Yeah. But we're going to have a one-lap shootout here.
NASCAR,
stage win.
Yep, the AMR safety team got the track cleaned up. NASCAR is going to go one lap here to the end of stage number 2. Who's going to get the playoff point? Justin Allgaier says, I want it. He's on the gas in the 7 car.
Cole Custer had been able to kind of hang back a little bit in these others and slide in behind the leader. And it looks like he's going to come out in second there. But for a minute, it looked like that Sage Karam wasn't going to have any of that.
Top 10 will receive stage points. So keep your eye on the battle for 10th back there. If you're 11th, you want to get by. You want a point. Allgaier cleanly out front now with a run down to turn 5.
Yeah, Justin Allgaier's just been the class of the field here today. He's had the speed as you get started, and then his car really hangs on well. So he's done everything right. Hasn't made a wrong move up to this point.
Parker Kligerman lost a few spots right there on this restart.
Out of turn 5, I think it was, Jeff.
Yeah, he's had some trouble, and 2 of them got by him, so now he's back in 10th spot. Daniel Hemrick trying to take another spot from him.
Kligerman getting a little aggressive on Sammy Smith in that maroon and silver 18.
Yeah, his point being very valuable.
In position to get 2 points is Kligerman. If he can get by Smith, he gets 3. Got a good run coming down here. Kligerman to the outside. Smith trying to protect on the inside. Wiggles the 18 car. Will the 48 have enough momentum on the outside? Good racing off of Canada Corner.
Yeah, I don't know if momentum or track was enough. You needed asphalt there for a second, but it does make that pass.
Parker Kligerman by Sammy Smith trying to hang on as now Daniel Hemrick will try to get by him.
Whoa! Daniel got high off of turn 14. Car never turned. Lost a lot of spots.
And stage win number 2 on the day to Justin Allgaier. That's his 7th stage win of 2023. Here is the battle further back. And Hemrick falling back.
Yeah, just how much damage might he have to that car now?
Wow. That was not great for Hemrick. That was good for Kligerman. And of course, very good for Justin Allgaier, his 2nd stage win.
Things are getting aggressive.
Yes, they are.
See, as this race has gone on, how different the restarts are looking. Drivers are trying to get all they can, have gained confidence in this track. And I think the track's probably gotten better as well. As the cars have gone through the corner side by side, they're putting rubber on the racetrack where they don't normally have it. And I think that's making this newer asphalt more comfortable for the drivers in those braking zones that they talked about yesterday not having any grip.
Yeah, they're gaining confidence and losing patience at the same time. So that's a combination that's fun to watch. I don't know.
Is that why we're having more cautions? I think it is.
And Justin Allgaier is trying to ruin the odds makers' days and not go 14 for 14 on different winners here. He's trying to be the only multiple winner ever in the Xfinity Series at Road America. Stage 2 complete. We'll come back for the final stage in a moment. NBC Sports coverage of NASCAR is brought to you by Credit One Bank, a credit card company, and by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. Beautiful shots of Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, home to Road America. And lots of other good stuff if you like hanging out in Wisconsin in the summer. About halfway between Milwaukee and Green Bay. And stage 2 is over. Justin Allgaier has won his 7th stage of the season. He has swept them so far today. And now the unique pit stops here. A little relaxed, Matt, but another good chance to work on your race car.
Absolutely. All the cars hitting their pit boxes, the crew members up on the wall, waiting for the NASCAR officials to give them the go sign so they don't get any penalty jumping too soon while cars are still rolling in here. You look at Justin Allgaier, and Dave, you mentioned 2 stage wins today. He's going to try to pull off the trifecta and score the trophy, but the biggest thing that he told me this weekend is it's all in the details. The small things really turn into huge momentum getters on the racetrack, and that's exactly what he did on the track walk. He walked around this new pavement, the landscape, looked at how they put the pavement up to the curbing, and he also told me he felt like that has made it much more crucial to hit your marks, because the curbing, which is much more like a bumper or a cushion, it's not like it used to be. It's very level with the pavement, so it's almost like an extra portion of area that you can use for grip and to try to run off the racetrack. But the car tighter, Kevin, on this run, but he's still very pleased with the overall balance of the 7.
Well, Cole Custer in the 00 Haas Automation Ford is still in play for his 3rd straight road course win. Pitting again from 2nd. He still wants to find a little bit more through the carousel. Says that's where he's losing, so they're going to go back on the changes they made at the last stop and see if they can help him a little bit better with drive off through there. He has talked about how treacherous this is, and he's really been concerned about when you get offline, can you be able to make it stick? But that's what it's going to take to be able to get around Justin Allgaier, Matt.
And Kevin Allgaier's day is just taking a turn for the worse. It seems like every stage, every situation that they've tried to work on, and the officials are giving all the teams the 2-minute warning, that everything that they've tried to fix in this race car, it's actually gone the opposite way and made it worse. The tires they're taking off, those Goodyears on the right side, you can see that Allmendinger has donuts going down the quarter panel. Also, they have worn off the Goodyear on the right front of that gem machine. You can see a crew member back inside. Electrical issues continue for this 10 car. They're not shutting it off. Too concerned, Kevin, that it won't refire. But add in one more issue, more brake fade for Allmendinger. You can just hear the disappointment in his voice.
2 stages done, and the good day continues for the Sam Hunt Racing Toyota. Sage Karam in 3rd. Kaz Gralla lost a couple of spots on that restart in 6th. I heard Kaz say before the last restart, I don't think we're quite good enough to have anything for Allgaier and Custer, but we are pretty good and we can stay up here. As you might expect, the cars are good. No changes for either 3rd and 6th. 3rd, by the way, is the best ever finish for Sam Hunt Racing. Sage Karam's best ever finish in Xfinity is 5th. Matt.
And still working on that 10 of Allmendinger. Cars are beginning to pull off pit road. More brake fluid for Allmendinger. And it's not just the 10 car we mentioned earlier. Chandler Smith, his teammate, he had brake failure in the fastest section of this racetrack. Still trying to tweak the 10 here to get him back out. But boy, everybody earmarked the 10 as the car to beat. He was going to be the class of the field, and it's been anything but that today. They certainly have struggled, Dave.
And now buttoning up things for Allmendinger so he can rejoin in proper time. All kinds of issues today. Can he overcome them? He was one of the odds-on favorites coming into today, but it's been a struggle. Getting ready to start the final stage of the race. Justin Allgaier trying to make it a clean sweep. See if he can get to the checkers first.
digging. Stay in the gas. What a fight. Daytona 500, baby. Way to go, boy. Oh, yeah, baby. In America. Hell yeah. Let's go. We're here. Hell of a job. Wow. Hell yeah, guys. Hell yeah, buddy. How about that? Holy cow. You're the man. So proud of you, pal. Yeah! Gosh, that feels good. Way to dominate! Yeah,
Tomorrow, the NASCAR Focus returns to the Cup Series and the Richmond Raceway. There's the schedule. It starts with countdown to green at 2:30 on USA, continues with awesome racing from that great track, and then finishes up with NASCAR America Post Race on USA and Peacock. And it is getting dicey as just 5 races remain to the playoffs for the Cup Series. The points are tight. The cut line is interesting, and qualifying good for some, not so great for others yesterday.
Yeah, Richmond's a great racetrack. Tons of action, a lot of side-by-side battles. Short practice today. Christopher Bell. I feel like all the Toyotas had a lot of speed today. Tons of speed. Kyle Busch was fast. William Byron was fast. Going to see an exceptionally competitive race tomorrow.
That'll be 2:30 Eastern on the USA Network. Make sure you check it out.
A.J. Allmendinger, you see him in 17th. He didn't practice a bit because he's right here, so he's going to have to start in the back. Never sat in that car at this racetrack. Going to see what he can make happen.
Hey, if you want to rep your favorite driver and take advantage of amazing deals at the NASCAR shop, check it out by going to NASCAR.com/shop today. Great selection of t-shirts, hats, die-casts, everything you need to support your driver. All right, coming to the choose and to the restart with 10 laps to go. That's still over 40 miles, long laps here on the road course in central Wisconsin. Dale Jarrett, I think a lot could happen between now and then.
Well, I think a lot's going to happen. Big thing is, did anybody have enough adjustments that they could make to try to handle Justin Allgaier here? Yeah, again, his car just fires off really good. Watch the choose here. Of course, Cole Custer's going to start beside him and do what he can, but could anybody make any adjustments or have enough here in this last stage in these last 10 laps?
And there's something emotionally, Dave, when you hear 10 to go as a driver, it's go time. And even though it's a long racetrack and it's a long 10 laps, it is go time right now. You're going to see a ton of pushing right here.
That less patience and more aggression maybe we've been talking about?
DJ described it.
Front row, Custer and Allgaier. Second row, Sage Karam, A.J. Allmendinger. Coming toward the start-finish line. The green will be displayed. Allgaier has control of the field. He fires off first. Protecting the inside. He knew Karam would take a look. Still protecting that inside is Allgaier.
Custer way wide. That's allowed Sage Karam to take over second place. Sam Mayer into third place.
And we saw the same thing happen to A.J. Allmendinger in the last restart. Lost 4 or 5 spots, got himself in a really bad position there. See how Cole Custer can rebound from this. Can he rebound from this?
Custer now back to the 5th position and being challenged right there. Now he's going to try to get 4th back from Kaz Grala. Allmendinger battling brake and electrical issues in that 10 car. Trying to grab a trophy today before he heads to Richmond Raceway for tomorrow's Cup action. Sammy Smith, a move on Grala. The 18 car is through.
See Josh Berry up in the mix here. We haven't talked about him much today, but he's got himself solidly inside the top 10. Parker Kligerman trying to make a move to go forward.
Oh, that's a late move by Josh Berry. Grala nearly cuts him off, doesn't do it. Now they're side by side through the carousel.
Now Grala's probably not going to be very nice in return.
Already got some damage on the front of that Toyota. You hear the tires begging for trip through the kink, one of the fastest parts of the racetrack. They all make it. Parker Kligerman now challenging Kaz Grala. Kligerman going for that 8th spot.
Kaz Grala, that red car right there, the 26 car, he does not have the speed he had earlier on a restart. This time he's gone backwards. He's mostly gone forwards on restarts, but not this one.
That's a battle for second. Sam Mayer now in the 1 car for Junior Motorsports, trying to get past Sage Karam in that 24. Careful now.
Custer has a run with both of them. Can he make it 3 wide? Sam Mayer with a big block to keep it from happening.
They got side by side, and Custer tried to take advantage. Couldn't do it. Mayer is through to second. Teammates now running 1-2.
Cole Custer realizes he can't waste much time right here with Sam Mayer. He's going to have to make this move to get to that second spot as quickly as he can if he's got any chance of running down Justin Allgaier.
Allgaier's trying to skate away here with only 8 laps remaining.
Whoa, late breaking move here by Custer.
Yeah, contact's good. How they missed contact there, I don't know.
Great move by Sam Mayer not to turn down into him. Now Custer back underneath him again. Sam Mayer again giving him enough room to keep from having contact. Now Custer's forced to block the inside from the 24 of Karam.
Here comes Karam trying to come back through. He is our Toyota driver update. Maybe it'll be for a pass right here. No, he can't get anything done.
Give Sage Karam a ton of credit right here. Sage is a very aggressive race car driver, but he's been very smart. He could have easily gotten into the back of the 00 right there and turned him around. He didn't do it. Racing with a ton of respect.
Kevin Karen's having a great day.
And that's one of the things that he told me he thought could be an advantage is his racecraft. He said, I'm not sure my single pace lap is right there yet, but I've got a lot of experience, and I think we might be able to take advantage of that in road courses a little later in. He is in a position maybe to be able to win a race for the first time in a single-seater since his Indy Lights Championship year in 2013. He's from Nazareth, Pennsylvania. By the way, what other racing name is from Nazareth? It's the Andretti name, and his dad, Jody, was Michael's trainer, and that's kind of how they got into the sport. He started going along to the go-kart track with Marco. So that relationship goes way back to Nazareth, Pennsylvania, Matt.
Kevin, Josh Berry has certainly put in extra effort, trying to check all the boxes, knowing moving to Cup Series next year, you can't give up anything in any different area. He didn't grow up a road racer, didn't grow up racing karts. He's had to work in that area with all the extra effort and the tools at his disposal. Yes, he was third here a year ago, but he will quick to tell you that effort is really starting to slowly pay off. But the biggest change for today, they made a significant air pressure and chassis adjustment back at the beginning of stage 2, and the car has simply come to life. Trouble on the racetrack.
That's Alex LeBay, window net down, indicating that he's okay, but after a hard hit. And that is going into turn 1. This has an interesting look to it. Remember earlier today, Chandler Smith tried to avoid going across the sand trap, and you can see LeBay needs to lay down and into the barrier. That's the route that the 08 took.
See a lot of debris through the grass.
AMR safety team quickly.
Certainly hope Alex is okay.
Rushing to get to LeBay.
Sheldon Cree with also damage.
He's got a right rear flat too.
Been a rough day for the 2 car, but nothing like what just happened to LeBay. Shaking his head, walking it off. Ugh. So here he is heading toward turn 1, the last car in frame now. Boy, that looks similar to what happened to Smith.
Yeah, clearly a mechanical issue. And that's that wall we talked about that Chandler Smith was trying to avoid. Alex LeBay just a head-on impact. Clearly a mechanical issue, but his car has what was different from he and Chandler Smith. Chandler's car, when he had the problem, it continued straight. until he turned it. In this case, it looks like whatever happened, and then the car took a right, quickly turned to the right.
Another angle. Lebe will come into frame here.
Oh my gosh.
There are tire packs that slow that impact a little bit, but the concrete is right there, and you can see the fencing above it. They've had cars go out of the park here over the years. This track has been here since 1955, largely unchanged in its configuration. Safety is always a concern.
You see the tire mark. So remember, Chandler's car, there was no tire marks, there was nothing. But this car, when whatever happened, it hangs a right. And it goes straight into that inside wall and then careens off of that into the turn one wall. So problems in the same place, but a completely different result based on whatever happened to the car and it just turning right.
And Chandler questioned whether he had done the right thing. I mean, when he sees this, he's probably going to think heading off to the left and scraping off the left side of that car was the right move.
Yeah, if he needed anything else besides the fact that he was standing there giving that interview and being perfectly fine, this certainly validates exactly what he did was the right thing.
So it's a tough day for SS Greenlight Racing. Catherine Legg out with a mechanical issue, and now this for her teammate Alex Lebe. So under caution for the 6th time today. 3 of those were for breaks from NASCAR, a competition caution, and a couple of stage breaks. And Justin Allgaier has won both stages. Matt, what's their team thinking about?
And that 7 car certainly has been stellar today. And Jim Pullman, looking at the way this day has gone, almost like you've written the script for it. If you had a concern here for the run to the finish, what would it be?
Well, obviously brake rotors, right? I think everybody's having issues here. Our Brembo stuff's been really good all day, so hopefully it hangs on to the end. Man, this car's been really strong. The Branch Chevrolet's been really good. Really proud of Justin, really proud of all these guys.
You know, they say if you grow up in Chicago, you've got to be a Bulls fan or a Cubs or a White Sox fan or Blackhawks. For you, you were always a racing fan, bitten by the bug early. You narrowly missed scoring a win at your home track. You told me this is sort of like your home track. What would a win be for you at Road America?
Yeah, I mean, it would mean a lot. I mean, not far from home. Lots of family, lots of friends here. Got all the Brand people here on the box with us, so cheering us on. That's a lot of fun. But yeah, if we can't win at Chicago, I'll take Elkhart Lake.
Certainly, a trophy is a trophy, but it means a whole lot more if it's near your home where you grew up.
Matt, it would be big for Pullman. His driver, Justin Allgaier, trying to become the first repeat winner in the Xfinity Series here. Great times in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, whether you're on the water or you're at the racetrack. Got a little tubing there, why not?
Yeah, they might want to head in and turn the TV on, though.
Yeah, because it has been great, and it's going to get great for the end of this race. It has been wild out there today. We've had some big hits, Jeff.
Yeah, we really have. It started with Chandler Smith right here on the brakes. Brake rotor explodes, going straight. He turns the car to the left to get into the wall to scrub the speed down into the car to keep from hitting head on to the wall we just saw.
And John Hunter Nemechek gets off the track. Had no idea, but we've been seeing this, that once you get off, you can get a lot of damage. Just destroys his car. He's out, probably losing his points lead here today.
Had the most points to start with. This is Alex LeBay. Mechanical issue here. He goes to the right and then straight into the barrier.
It's a huge hit for Alex LeBay. You see the winning that immediately down. Let know the safety workers that he wasn't in dire need of help.
So 6 laps to go, just over 24 miles or so. And this is the playoff standing list grid as it stands right now. Most affected, perhaps, right around the cut line. Creed in the 2, Herbst in the 98, and Kligerman in the 48.
Yeah, it seems like every time we show the 2 car today, he's in some kind of trouble. He's had a lot of damage to his car. He's on pit road now trying to get it fixed. Ronnie Herbst, Parker Kligerman, they just had this incredible battle. Parker's done a nice job of getting himself in position, but don't count out Riley Herbst. He's come from the back now twice, and he's up to 16th. And he's got a fast car. He can still move forward some.
And DJ, you pointed this out before, those playoff points on the upper right there, none for Nemechek today. Hill has a chance if he can win the race, and he's gaining.
Yeah, he sure is. And you look at Justin Allgaier, too. He's, you talk about the playoff points. He's got 2 stage wins. He could get, if he can keep battling here and get that win, he's going to add 5 more to that total. So could be a huge day for him. Cole Custer's done a nice job here, and he's going to have something to say about this on this restart, too.
Again, 7 races to go until the playoffs start for the Xfinity Series. It's a little bit different than it is for the NASCAR Cup Series. Playoffs for these drivers and teams will start just a little bit later. That, of course, will all begin at Bristol on a Friday night.
We're coming, this race is winding down, and we've seen some big impacts, some big wrecks. Sam Mayer, a driver looking for that win in the Xfinity Series, trying to establish himself. Last week, he kind of questioned himself. Did he make the right move? Did he mess a teammate up? I didn't think he made the wrong move at all. I thought he made the move to give himself a chance to win a race. And so now here he is with a chance to win, and his teammate is sitting there. And I know that Sam Mayer wants to be respectful. I know that that's how he wants to do it. I know that Junior's been talking to him about being respectful to teammates and how to finish races. But here you are. They're going to drop the green with 4 to go. And you have got to go be aggressive if you're going to win the race. So it's a tough situation, DJ, for a young driver or an experienced driver. How hard do you push, and what are you willing to do with a teammate alongside you?
And is there extra incentive since he grew up 7 miles from here?
Would be for me.
I would think so. Yeah, you throw all of that in there. I mean, just getting the first win of your career is big enough. But doing it right here and in this moment, there's a lot of things going through that young man's head right now as to what is the right thing to do.
And he's won races here. He's won them in Trans Am Series. He had a big wreck here a few years ago, overcame it, came back the next year, won the race. This is a place that he knows how to win, and it's a huge deal to win in one of these national touring series like the Xfinity Series. It's a big deal. Sam Mayer is going to have to push the buttons here to make something happen.
And Sam Mayer will be getting a lot of pressure from the 3rd place car of Cole Custer, Kevin.
Yeah, looking for 3 in a row on the road course. Jonathan Toney is the crew chief, so does he have something to pick up a spot, maybe 2?
Oh, absolutely. These are the moments you live for. It's why we work on these things and get them ready to come to the racetrack, is to put our man in a position. So, I'd bet on him. I wouldn't bet against him for sure. So, I think see what happens so we can get clear of them and get out here and get us a win.
Cole's been pretty honest about how difficult it is when you get out of the groove. What's he been saying during the race today? Is he feeling a little more comfortable in the passing zones?
I think it's gotten a little bit better as the races went on, as things got rubbered up and seasoned in, But, you still don't want to be on the outside into turn 1. That's not the preferred place to be. So we'll see how it shakes out. And like I say, hopefully we can get us a win.
All right, we'll all watch together. Thanks, Jonathan.
Kevin, let's look at some highlights for Cole Custer. 2 of the last 3 road courses have been his. This was Portland.
Well, that one they just cracked out of his way.
Yeah,
here. You want to win this one?
Yeah, go ahead and take this one, Cole.
And then the streets of Chicago. He had the best car. He led all the way until the stoppage for weather. And then the cancellation for weather. Cole ruled the day.
Sat on the pole and led every lap.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting right here as to where is he going to line up, because Sam Mayer is going to have the choice. Is he going to go beside of Justin Allgaier, or is he going to go behind him?
And where do you go for NASCAR Tracks? Well, how about another NASCAR app? NASCAR Tracks is the official app, and you stay up to date on the latest race and event information from all over the country where NASCAR races. So search Tracks, NASCAR Tracks in the App Store, and download for free. Start using it. Maybe it would show you where to choose if you're Cole Custer or Sam Mayer.
Well, with Sam Mayer, I'd have to say that the last 2 I've seen A.J. Allmendinger and Cole Custer both get way off track trying to stay up with Justin Allgaier down in turn 1 on these restarts. So,
you would choose behind him then?
No, I wouldn't. I just got to think that I'm going to be smarter when I get down there. I can get this done.
That is where a guy like Marty Lindley, the crew chief on the 1 car, he drove race cars himself. His father, a legendary racer, unbelievable talent. That's where Marty Lindley can be talking to Sam Mayer right here and saying, hey man, we've seen this in turn 1. Let's take advantage. If we decide to line up alongside him, giving him all that information, DJ, that you just spoke about. And that's what young drivers need. They need some experience on the box. They need experience in the spotter stand to relay that information. It just helps so much in the preparation getting into turn 1.
Yeah, you want to make sure that when you leave turn 1, that the worst that you are is in second spot. He lined up behind him.
There you go.
And hey, look, and maybe that is also some senior leadership saying we have seen it not work on the outside. Let's don't make the same mistake. But let's all be in this decision together. If we're all in it together and it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, we all made the decision along each other.
But you've given Cole Custer the opportunity here to learn from his mistake the time before and try to stay side by side with Justin Allgaier.
I was going to say, don't give Cole Custer too much information. Don't pile it on, because he will use it. Can Custer in the white Mustang challenge Justin Allgaier in the bright red Chevrolet down into turn number 1? Allgaier gets the jump. Sam Mayer, his teammate, right behind him. He's giving it a peek there. Which way does Allgaier block? He goes to the outside. He gets them both.
All right, so Sam Mayer, they made that decision to take the inside, and he came out in second. Great choice.
Sage Karam now challenging to the inside of Cole Custer, the black car, trying to get around the white car. And right behind them, Allmendinger and Sammy Smith.
And you know, most races in this situation we'd be saying, watch this 10 car. A.J. Allmendinger can make this happen, but just don't believe he has the car to do it today.
Whoa!
Josh Berry trying to make a move on Sammy Smith. Smith gets into Allmendinger, and now he does not have the car at all. Caution is out at Road America.
Oh, tons of damage. Sammy Smith, wrong place, wrong time. Cole Custer, same thing.
7th caution of the day as they are racing toward the finish at Road America.
It looked like the 8 car got off course and then was in the grass. Look at the rear end. It's not there's a bar that runs from the chassis to the rear end, and it has gotten broken off. So the 00 is done.
10 looks done. 18 damaged. He may, no, I don't think so.
No, he's
Put
done.
the window net down. He's done. Very, very costly. And you drivers have seen this and maybe experienced it. You get offline, you get on that grass just a little bit, or even on the paint. You can lose all your control at that point. Take a look and see what happened with Josh Berry.
You can see Josh Berry, the silver car, right there. Some kind of problem.
Or did he have contact from Gralla?
Yeah, I don't know if he had contact or if something happened with the braking. I don't know. I thought he was in the grass, but he wasn't.
No. Could have just been.
Yeah, see, I think, I don't know. Maybe he did drop the left rear off into the grass, and that started this. It happened so quickly. All these guys, there's nothing they could do.
That's what happened to Custer's car there. Sammy Smith with big contact into him.
Yes, all of this, they were battling for 5th. Cole Custer's running 3rd and gets taken out.
Here you go. This is a great look at it. Let's watch and see. It starts before he
didn't get off.
I saw something fly out
off.
from underneath the car.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if it's something that he ran over or if it was something that came off of the 8 car.
A couple of drivers have had brake issues today. We've seen some massive wrecks from that. But this all started when the 8 car of Josh Berry got squirrely heading down one of the fastest parts of the track. Cole Custer's 00 collected in all that.
Yeah, so frustrating for Cole Custer, but Cole is showing the industry that he is a Cup caliber driver. He has been moved back into the Xfinity Series, did not have the success that we all thought he would have in 3 years in Cup. So he's moved back to the Xfinity, and he's showing everybody, hey, I can win races. I just need to be in the right opportunity.
You always wonder how young drivers, we think about Cole Custer because he got moved. He was in the Xfinity Series, did so well, got moved up. He's still a young man, I think 25 years old, so still very young and a lot of years ahead of him. How do they handle situations like this with their mindset, But he has come back. He understands that everything that took place and things happen for a reason. I went through a similar situation in my career where got moved back to the Busch Series at the time, the Xfinity Series, and got my way back to that. And I think this is a young man that can do exactly that. You're right, Jeff. He's doing all the things that owners want to see drivers get through and make good choices and show the talents that they have.
And not only did you get back, you got back and a Hall of Fame driver and a champion. So it's so difficult when you're in the heat of the battle and things aren't going your way, but you're a great example of how you don't quit. You keep moving. Martin Truex Jr., look at him.
Yes.
Look at how many races he's won later in his career. He got hot, and he's been the best driver in the series for a while in the Cup level. So if you have talent and you are afforded the patience and the opportunity, you can have success.
Cole Custer hobbles the 00 back to pit road. Let's go down to Matt.
And Dave, some conversation back and forth between Taylor Moyers and Josh Berry. Josh was saying that he did indeed get hit from behind, so contact is what he believes forced him off and started that entire melee there. Kevin?
Sage Karam also was in the middle of that, up into 3rd right now. I heard Sage radio in and say, I don't know how we missed that. As I saw the replay, it looked like it could not have been any closer, but the team has taken a look and said no damage. Let's take a look on that number 24 Sam Hunt Racing Carousel Online Toyota as he comes through, just trying to miss everything. He's actually up ahead of that, but then as the 18 is sliding back by, how close do you like it? Wow, grazed, maybe, but clear. And Sage Karam, remember, this is a full one-off. This is the only race with this team, but he will be back in the Alpha Prime car in a couple of weeks at Indianapolis on the road course.
Kevin, you can't deny he's making the most of it. What a save, what a move by Karam to miss all that. Now, we've had the update from Matt on the contact that Josh Berry claims. So let's take one more look at it. Heading down into turn number 5, the 8 car gets squirrely, and the question is, did he get that contact from Kaz Growley? He says he got bumped.
Yeah, it's just so hard to tell right here. You can see he's kind of closing there. I'm sure that Josh Berry maybe was having to lift just a little, not to get into Allmendinger right there, too. Could have been contact. We just don't have a good enough shot to be able to say definitively that that's exactly what happened.
Well, it's what Josh believes.
Yeah,
so
sure.
There you go. He's the driver behind the wheel of the 8. So Berry continues on. Sage Karam continues on from this narrow miss that Kevin just described in the 24.
Wow.
But a couple of really good race cars taken out right here.
Yeah, this lineup of how NASCAR puts them in the position is going to be very important for this restart. We're down to 3 to go right now, and Riley Herbst, who we keep talking about, right now he's scored an 11th. Now we don't know this is the final lockdown position because NASCAR takes a few minutes to get everybody lined up correctly. Parker Kligerman up to 5th, but Riley Herbst, he keeps climbing himself up through the field. This is the second time that caution was actually beneficial to him. He was able to get by some cars rather than being in the caution.
Still under caution. It'll be 2 to go this time by. See if we move into the overtime area here. Looks like we may, because the lights are still on top of the pace car. Hey, we've talked about Marty Lindley, the veteran crew chief for this driver, Sam Mayer. Matt's caught up with him.
And on top of the pit box. And Marty, when you look at what this team has done and this driver has done today, what impresses you most about Sam's prolific run behind the wheel? Very old school, but also very old soul-like.
Yeah, you know, we had a little bit of issue in stage 1, had some brake issues, and for him to stay in the game and be able to battle back and get us up in the top 5 with a chance to win this race at the end. You know, our teammates been lights out all day. I just appreciate everybody at Chevrolet. Accelerate. This is a home team for Sam, home race, and hopefully we can come home with a 1-2 junior motorsports finish.
You know, you talk about the emotions behind the wheel, and you're battling your teammate for the W here. You've been in that position before. Coming into this race, did you guys talk about the past experiences and how you try to compartmentalize who you're racing when it's at the finish?
Yeah, it's been a tough situation for junior motorsports over the years. You know, I feel like there's been some issues there. There's been a lot of emphasis put on, you know, finishing these races out and getting the finishes we deserve. And hopefully they put on a good show for the fans, and that's what they do.
All right, good luck here with the run to the finish, Dave. It's going to get exciting.
Matt, thanks. Here is Jeff. You want to make a comment?
Yeah, I do. I'm a huge fan of Marty Lindley. Marty, I mentioned, for those of you who don't know, check out and do a little research on his dad, Butch Lindley. Yeah. Butch Lindley is a legend and an unbelievable racer, and Marty is the same way. My son Harrison worked with Marty. I got a chance to really get an up-close look at him. He is a hardcore racer and very smart. He's a new hire into junior motorsports as a crew chief. He's been in trucks, he's been in K&N, and he's won in everything he's done. He is an extremely talented crew chief as well as he was a driver.
Let me give you another father-son connection. Sam Mayer's dad, Scott, is actually a racer too, and he won here at Road America in the Grand Am Series. Here's Scott. Little BMW power behind the 8 car. And so, as they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. When Sam was young, there is Scott with his co-driver, Brendan Hartley, who, by the way, is a bad man behind the wheel. They built a go-kart track in their backyard, and this is where Sam began racing before he ever got to this level in the Xfinity Series. Practice in the backyard, take it to the track. We've been watching Parker Kligerman most of the day. Kevin, he's in the best spot he's been all day.
So when I talked to Parker before the race today, he kind of laid down to me what he thought was going to happen, and it's almost sounding like maybe he's been an analyst or reporter before, because he's kind of predicted how things are going to happen. He said there's going to be carnage. We're going to be able to move our way forward. We think we're better as a race car than we were a qualifying car. Pick up a few each stage, get inside the top 8, maybe the top 5 by the end of the race. Maybe we can steal one. He's thinking he doesn't have to win. It'd be great if they do, but they think they can point their way into the playoffs. Riley Herbst has still got the advantage. Parker Kligerman might be able to close that gap a little bit more before we're done today.
We see that bubble point look on the left there. Kligerman just out by 20. Herbst in by 20. Parker runs in 5th. Riley Herbst runs in 13th.
Yeah, that was all the way down at one point in time after Riley got spun in the second time, that it was down to 2 points. So as Jeff has pointed out, Riley Herbst's done a great job battling back from the 2 spins. And there's no reason. You said call this overtime. There's no reason to think that we're going to have one overtime right here.
That's right. They get multiple attempts at it. That means it's a 2-lap shootout. They'll take the green, they'll take the white, and the next flag after that would end the race. But if the caution should come out before they get the white, Jeff, they'll try it again.
Oh, yeah. The other driver that's had a good comeback is the 9 of Brandon Jones right there in that bright yellow car. He had trouble in first lap of practice yesterday. had to go to a backup car, started in the back, no laps on this car whatsoever, and he's battled back, and here he is sitting running in 12th, and he's only 58 points back. Now that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but if these two cars have trouble that he's racing, the 98 and the 48, he could be right back in this battle as well.
Yeah, and they have multiple road courses plus Daytona before their playoffs start, so a lot of positions that could be changed.
So how about this, guys? How about this for a stat? 13 different winners here in 13 tries for the Xfinity Series. 5 of them were first-time winners. 4 of the top 5 drivers in the queue right now have never won before. Could increase that number today. Will it be 6 of 14? Justin Allgaier says no, does not want that to happen. They will get the choice this time, which lane they will take at the green flag, and then they will fire off. Where's that smoke coming from, Jeff?
I think it's coming from the exhaust pipes of the 19 car. Connor Mozak, that's never a good sign.
No.
Boy, and you can see it, it's just increasing now. He's chosen the outside, but ooh, he may come to pit road. No. That is bad. Okay, coming to the green. Overtime presented by Credit One for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Road America. Allgaier in the red car. The black car is Sage Karam. Behind Allgaier, his teammate, Sam Mayer. In the restart zone, they hit the gas to the finish.
Like Sam Mayer might have spun the tires just a little bit. That might open a door here.
Karam to the outside. He's looking to that high side of Justin Allgaier. It hasn't worked all day. Can Karam make it work? Josh Berry through. He's the car furthest on the outside.
There's something on the racetrack right here coming out of that 19 car, I think.
Still smoking is Connor Mozak back behind all this action. Klingerman trying to hang on to his spot in the orange and white 48 car. Allgaier now down the hill with Karam and Mayer in tow. Josh Berry, silver car on the inside, trying to outbrake Kaz Grala. He does so. He'll get 5th.
So we saw that fluid down in turn 1. The next car to go through that corner is going to be the leader.
NASCAR has spotters looking at the track from different angles. We'll see what they see, or if they believe that the thundering herd can go through there and race for the win. Coming to the white flag here.
Well, you can see Sage Karam there really hanging this thing out, giving everything that he has to try to get close to this 7 car of Justin Allgaier.
And that's the car that was smoking, we believe. Connor Mozak now off course in the 19. Justin Allgaier. Oh, there it is, DJ. The 8th caution of the day, can't leave Mozak in a dangerous position. And the track, we think, may have a little fluid on it down there in turn 1.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of that, sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, let's do this all together.
That's right.
You know, last week in Pocono, NASCAR held the caution in the Cup race to try. They thought the car was going to get rolling, and it never did. And today, so far around, look at all that. I mean, they had to throw the caution. You couldn't send the cars back through this.
Interesting. The next couple of cars through did.
Thinking that's probably water, but you still can't leave that there. It's not like it's going to evaporate by the time they get back around.
And of course, this is, his car stopped.
Justin Allgaier's team looking on, saying, no, we had it in hand. No pit stops here. You could put fresh tires on, but in road course racing, you just want to maintain that track position. No reason to do it here.
And so, DJ, on that restart, it looked like to me Allgaier brought everybody to the restart zone really slowly.
Yeah.
He had the pace really pulled back, and when he accelerated, Sam Mayer, he spun the rear tires, and that was an advantage to Sage Karam on the outside. Sage Karam was the first guy we've seen in the last few restarts be able to take advantage of being on the outside. He came out in 2nd, but it all started with the 7 with a slower restart, and that gets very difficult for the guy that's behind him because you're anticipating when he's going to go, and when he goes at a slow pace, you're trying to get speed up quickly, and it's much easier to spin the rear tires. Let's see what Allgaier does this time. I'm sure he won't do the same thing because the role as the starter is to mix it up every time you can to surprise the people around you.
Yeah, so a savvy veteran, and who we're talking about here was Justin Allgaier. You can see, and so you've got a young man that's trying to win his first race right behind him. He's anticipating this, wanting to go. Yeah, you can see definitely that he spun the tires just a little bit there, and then you've got beside you a young man that has very limited experience in the stock cars, and then here in Sage Karam and trying to make this happen. So Justin Allgaier is just using his experience to his advantage, and it will not be the same this time.
We have to hope, too, that Sam Mayer isn't getting in his own head. Remember last week at Pocono, he was so upset about how he raced his teammate, Josh Berry, in that case.
Yeah, I mean, that restart I don't think was that, Dave. It's just hard to anticipate when the guy leaves. Now, the question for Sam Mayer is what line does Sage Karam take? And whatever line he takes, you take the opposite. If Sage goes to the outside of the 7, then you go to behind the 7. If Sage goes behind the 7, you've got to take the outside. Yeah. You cannot give up a full 2 rows. So now he doesn't have the choice. His choice is going to be decided by what Sage believes is in his best interest.
Sage Karam with the one-off in the 24. Kevin, he's looking good right now in second.
And kind of the debate is, where do you want to be on the choose? He chose the outside last time and hung in there, but it kind of sounds like we may want to stay on the inside this time. So that debate is still going on. He asked, how is my back bumper? The one has been running into me. He said, I think it's okay at this point. And Sage said, okay, we're going to talk about that after the race. But let's just think about big picture. One-off situation. I think it's been 10 years in Indy Lights since Sage Karam has won a single-seater race. He swept a pair of races when he was 15 years old here in junior formula cars. What a day this could be. You think about what Shane Van Gisbergen did in a debut. This is not a debut for Sage Karam, but this would be a massive story if he can get this to victory lane in a fill-in opportunity.
Kevin has mentioned the Indy Next Championship in 2013. He's raced in IMSA and in trucks. He also missed his high school prom to race in the Indy 500, so, you know.
Well, yeah. That's kind of a no-brainer there. I'm sorry.
Oh, you know, he broke her heart.
But there's, here's a thought. I was thinking about the same thing, Jeff, when you were talking about where does he line up here. But if your thought is that you can't start beside him because you can't be beside him through turn 1, then your other choice is to try to line up behind, lay back, and try to anticipate a little bit better, because your next move is going to have to be to be able to keep yourself close enough to hit the back bumper of that 7 car. That's the only way you're going to pass Justin Allgaier. I'm sorry. He's too good, and his car is too good today to think any other way.
And Justin knows that. So he's got 2 guys behind him looking for their first win. Actually, Parker Klickerman also. Yeah. I mean, he's got 3 guys behind him that are exceptionally hungry. And so Justin knows that he's got to leave turn 1 and have some space. He cannot let those guys be on his rear bumper entering turn 3, because it's just too tempting for a guy looking to win a race to get into the rear bumper and move you out of the way.
So this is great theater we're about to see. I got to tell you another couple of reasons to go see Oppenheimer, which is in theaters now. Not only is it an epic thriller about a man who risked destroying the world in order to save it, but it's directed by Christopher Nolan, and it's shot in IMAX. So if that's not enough, DJ, I don't know how I can get you to the theater.
You're talking me into it, Dave. I don't know how I can pass that up.
Red flag now displayed by NASCAR. They're holding the field there while they get the track prepared for another overtime.
Yeah, I was thinking about the 7 o'clock movie tonight, but we may still be racing here. So,
and we've seen this movie before at Road America, have we not?
Yes, we have.
They have a tendency to go on.
He's always right. All the buddies know, and he's always right.
Now here comes Denny Hamlin to the inside.
He runs the 5 wide, almost into the fence.
So I'm sure he was in the right there as well.
Did he have a right to be mad at you?
Larson loses the lead. Hamlin's out front.
Both guys wrecked themselves.
I've been cost a lot of good finishes by him throughout my career.
I didn't hit either one of them. Didn't touch him.
And I know he says I race a certain way, but I don't think I've ever had to apologize to him about anything.
But look at that. Wow, he is angry.
Not that I'm sure he's going to say sorry after this. Yeah, we're friends. yes, this makes things awkward, but whatever.
Oh, the honesty of Kyle Larson, you've got to love it. Denny came away the winner. And it's not the rematch per se, but it's the next episode in their life together as friends off the track and racers on track. Happens on USA tomorrow at 2:30. We get things kicked off there, and then, of course, all the way through to post-race on USA and Peacock. DJ, you and I talked about it on Motor Mouse this week. It was high drama, and it may be over or just may be awkward going forward.
Yeah, it's hard to say exactly. We're TV analysts, and we can talk about it. We were drivers. We've been in both of these situations to where we felt like we were done wrong, and as the driver that was in the situation that Denny was in here, you just felt like you were, racing hard, and the other driver had an opportunity, as Denny pointed out, that Kyle Larson could have lifted and maybe not hit the wall, but he probably wouldn't have had a chance to win the race either. So I'll just say this: look, as competitors, we can say whatever we want. The only thing that matters is Denny Hamlin feels like he was right. He gets up on Monday morning and he can look in the mirror and say, I'm good with everything that happened there, and that's all that makes any difference. You have to have the one thing you have to realize is probably you're going to get raced differently by Kyle Larson at this point in time. Enough things have happened between the two that what you've seen and how you've raced Kyle Larson before and the way that he's raced you probably has now changed.
Yeah, and it's so competitive. That series and this series both are so competitive, and everybody's trying to get wins. Everybody's trying to position themselves to win championships. That gave Denny Hamlin his second win. That's a big deal, and you're going to see aggressive driving. And when you see that, some are going to be mad. Kyle Larson, when I heard his interview, what he was mad about was that Denny raced him the same way that he felt like he had raced Ross Chastain last year when Ross had run into Denny multiple times. And Kyle's like, hey, I deserve more respect than that, right? And so it'll be interesting to see how they worked out. This is not the first rivalry we've had in the sport, and it certainly won't be the last.
No.
And the question is, what will Kyle do? Denny was very vocal last year. I'm done with it. I'm not putting up with it anymore. I feel like I'm getting run into. I'm not putting up with it. And ultimately, he did. He made a move and took a win away and he got a win. And now will Kyle Larson do the same thing?
I'll have to say right now, I think Kyle Larson has to make a statement. He doesn't have to go wreck Denny Hamlin. I'm just saying that he has to race Denny Hamlin differently right now and get a little bit more respect from Denny Hamlin and possibly other drivers that think. Because if you don't hear, who's going to be the next driver that's going to say, well, Larson is not going to step up. He's not going to do anything about it. So you maybe get taken advantage of by others if you don't step up at this point. Again, not saying he's got to go wreck anybody. You just have to race them differently.
Fans enjoying the afternoon here. What a gorgeous day in central Wisconsin, and it's not over. They want to stay to see who wins this race. Allgaier has command right now, but he's got a restart to deal with Sage Karam and Sam Mayer and Parker Kligerman, the top four drivers right now under red before we head to the next overtime. And guys, I do want to tell everyone who watched today and watched that big hit that Alex Labbe took into the barrier in turn number one head on. NASCAR confirms for us that he has been evaluated and released from the care center.
Yeah, that's good to hear. That was just a terrible blow once again, but the safety initiatives in these race cars allow these drivers to, in these difficult situations, to get out and walk away.
Looking at the top 10, Kevin, the 51 of Jeremy Clements, former winner here, runs an 8th.
Yeah, that's worth a mention because he had some contact yesterday, and they had to start in the back, going to a backup car today. So I mentioned what a story would be if Sage Karam could pull it off. That's what we had here, 6 years ago, 2017, when Jeremy won here in the family program, and that was one of his 2 career wins. I don't know if that's in play here today, although with the way things are going, you never know with attrition, but certainly they have made the best of the opportunity, driving forward inside the top 10. Strong day for Jeremy Clements Racing and their Chevy.
And Kevin, I apologize if you mentioned it, but this is in a backup car today, DJ.
Yes.
He took his primary car here. As I remember the story, this was an old chassis for him in 2017 as we watched him race to the win.
Yeah, we thought the strategy was going to be what we were going to talk about until they came to turn 14 here and had the contact, and then he was able to get going and eventually win the race here. And what a huge day this was for Jeremy Clemens, his family, everybody involved that worked so hard, just not only just to get these cars to the track every week, but to compete at a high level, and he does that. Tremendous day.
Kevin mentioned the other win that came at Daytona. What better place to win if you're a NASCAR driver? And his family build their own engines. They field the car themselves. And Jeremy now in his mid-30s is still in the series and loving it and showing well again here at Road America. Well, the dog days of summer are coming, but a great finish is coming for us at Road America. Gorgeous afternoon at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. And you see the overtime badge in the upper left-hand corner, the field under red, while track re-preparation is being done by the AMR safety team. A lot of fluid laid down in turn number 1 by the detonating number 19 of Connor Mosack. And DJ, it started, looks like coming out of turn 14 all the way down the front straight, too.
Yeah, we could see the smoke before they went back to green, that you knew something was going on there. And I'm not sure that he knew exactly how bad it may be, but this is going to take a while to clean up. I mean, this was put down all around. We talk about how long this track is and big it is, so this is going to be a cleanup that is going to take a little bit.
Well, I mean, as a driver, you're constantly smelling things. You're smelling fluids burning and tires and everything else. There's a lot going on inside the race car, and that doesn't always mean pull over and stop racing.
No, exactly. And you go sometimes, I mean, you don't hear a lot anymore about, burning a piston and things like this, but if that starts to happen and you get some smoke going, and a lot of times things that will happen will load up and you get that little bit of smoke while you're running around under caution, and sometimes it actually could clear itself up a little bit if it's just an oiling issue that may be okay once you get back and you apply the power. So he had no idea exactly to what extent things are going to happen, but it obviously got really bad very quickly.
You ready to go to Michigan? NASCAR is on NBC and Peacock. Racing for the playoffs. Don't miss it, because Michigan could offer drama, excitement, and of course characters doing what they do in the NASCAR Xfinity Series here. That's next Saturday, 3 Eastern on NBC and Peacock. DJ, I remember you liking the Michigan Speedway a little bit.
For a lot of reasons, yeah. I was able to win my first race there in the Cup Series back in 1991 for the Wood Brothers, and it was actually people ask all the time, what was your favorite track? Well, my favorite place to race was Michigan. I like to win at Daytona and Indy, but I love to race at Michigan. And I want to clear up one thing. Back to a minute ago when I was talking about the deal between Denny and Kyle Larson. I'm not saying that Denny Hamlin was in the wrong whatsoever. Denny Hamlin was being an aggressive driver trying to win a race, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just said that he has to be okay with it, and he seems to be perfectly fine the way that things went about, and he handled that.
Back to Michigan and Dale Jarrett. There was a lot of races that no one liked to be racing with, because there was one race there, I think you beat the field by like 15 seconds. I mean, it was not even close.
I had a lot of horsepower.
Yeah.
Robert and Doug Yates made me look like I knew what I was doing a whole lot.
You had a heavy right foot, too.
And a lot of bravery. Hey, you see the overtime coming up. It's been gone back to yellow here, so I'll be coming by the start-finish line and eventually choosing.
Yeah, you
and
know,
giving
they
us
had
another great
trucks
overtime.
right there that trying to get all of this up, but you never get all of that. So, you know, the drivers coming through there at speed is going to be, could be a little bit exciting, as if we needed something to make it more exciting.
Yeah, and how did these young drivers use this red flag? How did they use it to their advantage? Where did they get themselves emotionally ready for this restart? Justin Allgaier's been there, done that. I feel like he knows exactly what he needs to do. The break probably doesn't affect him at all, but these younger guys, when you go from the heat of the battle to a red flag, it gets hot in the car, it gets really hot in the car. You're sitting there, and where is your mind going? Is it going into the negatives? Like, well, if you know, what are the bad thoughts? Are they good thoughts? What's the strategy? Again, I think that's where spotters, crew chiefs, all those guys become exceptionally valuable. Let's get your mind focused on where it needs to be focused. This is an exceptionally important restart coming up.
Matt, you got more on this wounded 2 of Sheldon Creed?
Certainly, Dave, has not been the day that Sheldon Creed had hoped for. In fact, he has now lost half of his cushion to Parker Kligerman, now just 23 points at this juncture of the race. But when you look at his career, it certainly has been a good little career in ARCA and Truck Series Championship. And, you know, you've heard Jim Croce's song, I Got a Name. For Sheldon Creed, that song says it all. Sheldon's DNA runs deep in motorsports. His grandpa Maurice, who's here today, began the family's racing passion on 2 wheels in Alpine, California. Now, Creed's uncle Jimmy Brockman raced on 2 wheels, often with his best friend Gary. Those two were simply inseparable. Sadly, Sheldon would never meet Jimmy because he was killed at the age of 16 in a flat track motorcycle race on Gary's backup motorcycle. Gary honored his late friend 2 ways, helping Sheldon by spotting for him and giving advice when he came east to run stock cars, and naming his firstborn son after his best friend. He named him Jimmy. You might not have heard of Jimmy Brockman, but I bet you know the name Jimmy Johnson. He's Gary's son and the newest member of NASCAR's Hall of Fame.
Yeah, what a great story, Matt, and the connection you get through racing, and to have Sheldon be a part of that is very, very special. Right in front of Sheldon, hadn't called the name of Stanton Barrett today. Stuntman Stanton is running in the 26th position for Emerling Gase Motorsports in that black car just in front of him. Barrett still doing Hollywood stunts, hawking the Stanton Barrett family wines. You see that on the side of the car. He even runs a brewery in New York, so he's a busy boy. He makes vintage race cars for those that want to buy and race them. Kevin, what have you got on the 44 of Brad Perez?
Well, I think some people are familiar with his story, but it's worth repeating how interesting this is. This is a young man that didn't grow up starting racing when he was 7, 8 years old. He was out of high school when he started go-karting in the Miami area, eventually got into cars and spec Miata, and was working on crews. And he's done that going back and forth between doing some driving and working as a tire specialist. And that was the job he had at Portland earlier this year when Tommy Joe Martins, he had worked for Alpha Prime before, said, hey, Leland Honeyman has food poisoning and might not finish the race. So he started the race going over the wall, finished it with a pretty good run until he said he made a mistake and took away a top 15 late in that race. Well, that led to this opportunity here this weekend. He's hoping to be able to crack inside the top 20. This is the only confirmed race he has with them, but he thinks there might be some more a little later on and really wants to do an oval. So well done for someone who's doing everything he can to get a chance to live out his dream. Brad Perez is definitely doing it. You know, I also asked him why they call him Bread, because he said where he grew up as a little kid, people had a hard time pronouncing his name, so it just kind of became a joke, and that's why his Twitter handle says Bread.
Now, if you follow him on social media, Kevin, they make light and fun with that all the time, and Brad certainly has accepted that nickname, Bread, over the course of his life. Hey, we want to let you know, as it's gone a little bit long here at Road America today, all the post-race interviews will happen on the NBC Sports app and the NBC Sports YouTube channel. So make sure you either download the app if you haven't yet, or find the NBC Sports YouTube channel for all the post-race coverage. Kevin and Matt getting the word from everyone after this event, which has been eventful, to say the least, Jeff.
Well, and it's getting ready to get even more eventful. You can see the drivers really working hard, you know, as the car is sat there on the red flag, you lose heat in the tires, really working these tires hard to get them to launch off well, not spin on the launch, get into turn one, make grip. There's a lot of things that go into having great restarts, and it doesn't just start in the restart zone. It starts way before it, getting your brain right, getting your car ready.
Yeah, we're getting ready to see the mindset of Sage Karam here in just a second. As to where he chooses to line up beside or behind Justin Allgaier. Because he lines up behind, it's going to pretty much take contact for him to get around.
It's such a tough choice because you're kind of giving up that you're going to leave turn one with the position that you need. You're going to have to go earn it somehow, some way, and Allgaier's just been able to drive away from all of them in turn one.
Allgaier's a veteran. Karam has very little experience in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and so has never won. Sam Mayer has never won in the number 1 car. Parker Kligerman has not won yet in that 48 car. So the first 2 rows, well, we'll see how they look here at the choose. It'll be Allgaier and Karam and Sam Mayer going to the inside as well.
Wow, I can't believe Sam Mayer. Look, he could restart on the front row. He is going to restart on the 3rd row. He believes so strongly that the outside won't work.
Well, it's been bad even before all the speedy drive, if you will, was put down. And that's going to be on the outside going into turn 1 because this is where we first saw all the fluids.
And if you're Parker Kligerman, you could not resist the chance to start on the front row there in that orange 48 car. So here we go. Overtime again at Road America. Allgaier in the gas, chased by Karam and Mayer. Parker Kligerman trying to get traction on the other side. Karam takes a peek. Allgaier stays on track, blocks. Oh, it looks slick down here. They all make it through, and Allgaier now lengthening his lead over Karam, but Karam with another look. And Sam Mayer's car looks strong, 3rd in line. Can that young Wisconsin native make a move here late in the race?
Heavy braking zone into turn 5. Sam all day long has been very aggressive on the braking zone right here on the inside.
Allgaier manages. Here comes Karam. He's still got brakes. So does Mayer. Neither one can make a move on Allgaier. Is that Austin Hill going for 4th around Parker Kligerman?
It is.
Wow. And Kligerman holds him off.
Oh, little slip there by Justin Allgaier. Opened the door.
Sage Karam to the inside, entering the carousel, rarely making a pass there. Sage Karam now takes the lead, but Sam Mayer gets him back. This is all going down into turn 8. Now they enter the carousel. Oh, and Mayer gets wide. Justin Allgaier spins. Karam has the lead.
Everybody's missed the corners. The last 2 corners, the 3 guys in the front position all had a chance to come out with the lead. They all missed the corners.
Sage Karam leads in his Toyota, but here comes Sam Mayer. Compared to Karam, Mayer is a veteran of the Xfinity Series, and he's never won. He's hungry.
Oh, he got through the kink way better. He's got positive momentum. Heading into turn 12. It's an opportunity right here.
Here comes Mayer. Ducks to the side. Under heavy braking, can Mayer do anything with Karam? Karam has the better line, but Sam Mayer, good tracks. No, he loses it on the outside. Here comes Parker Kligerman. Kligerman through to 2nd. Karam has the lead. How much does Parker Kligerman have left? And Karam is off. Parker Kligerman now through in the 48. Just one more corner, then coming down the front stretch. But Sam Mayer is right there. Mayer moves him just a little bit. Sam Mayer now up the hill. And Mayer, in his home state of Wisconsin, will come to the white flag.
What an incredible lap. None of those drivers had clean laps. They all missed corners.
How can Parker Kligerman fight back? The orange car now to the inside. Austin Hill right behind him. 4 wins all year on the season and not giving up. And Karam now back to 4th.
And behind them, Riley Herbst in that 98 car. He is driven up to 5th.
Great recovery for the black 98 of Herbst. Sam Mayer trying to drive away. We've shared the story. Grew up real close to here, DJ, and now trying to come home first at his home track.
Yeah, just 7 miles away, and he has the best car of these as far as speed goes right now. It's just a matter of not making any mistakes from this point forward.
Austin Hill now to 3rd.
if I'm the spotter on the 98 car, I'm sorry, on the 1 car, Sam Mayer, Brett needs to be saying, man, you're good. You got gap. Do not overdrive the entry. That's where all the mistakes have happened, trying to overdrive corner entry speed. You don't have to do it.
Nice clean entry there for Sam Mayer. No threat from Kligerman yet. 3rd place, Austin Hill. He came from nowhere last week at Pocono. Can he do it again this week? But he's got a long way to go. Oh, the tire's just screaming. Tricky part of the track for Mayer. Nice line on the exit. Just a couple of corners remaining. Turn 12 coming up. 14 total. Everyone settles down now up the hill. Just a little left sweeper and down to the right hand, turn number 14. If Kligerman can do anything, he's got to have a good exit off of turn 14 here. Sam Mayer is clean. Champion in the ARCA Menards East Series. Looking for his first victory. It's going to come for Sam Mayer in Wisconsin at Road America. What a drive for Sam Mayer. What a day for Junior Motorsports there in Victory Lane here. And he is the 14th different driver in 14 NASCAR Xfinity Series races here at Road America. The streak continues.
Wow. What an incredible, with 2 to go, that lap. I mean, every one of those drivers in the midst of that battle can take a step back and say, oh, I missed the corner, I missed the corner, I got run into. I mean, it was an incredible fight by every one of them.
So Kligerman comes home second. He helps his chances for the playoffs. Austin Hill 3rd, Sage Karam 4th, Riley Herbst unofficially 5th. We'll come back and talk to the winner and more in a moment. Breaking news, the winner at Road America, like much of the field, has damage. Sam Mayer will go to Victory Lane here, but as he was getting ready to perhaps do some victory donuts down in turn 5, congratulated by friends, this happened.
Yeah, he goes down, and I don't know if he's going to do some donuts or what he's going to do. He changes his mind, DJ, and then pulls into the sand and then into the end of the asphalt. And
well, fortunately, his wrong decision waited till after the checkered flag.
That's right. All right, this is Kligerman.
It is.
Wow.
Sam Mayer now.
And this was how it happened. Allgaier with the lead. And Karam trying to get by. He does. But then here comes Sam Mayer.
Yeah, they both just lost so much momentum there that Sam Mayer was able to get a great run.
And then Sam overshot the corner there. The 7 car overshot the corner.
This is coming to the white flag, so Karam had the lead. Mayer was right there. Sam's car so good today.
Yeah, he really had a fast car all day and had done a terrific job keeping himself in the mix, just waiting for the right opportunity.
And it presented itself right here. Sage Karam did not get into the kink very well. Sam Mayer alongside. Heavy braking zone.
And this is where Kligerman starts getting ideas. He's watching this side by side.
Yeah, they both missed this.
Yeah, both again missed the corner. And Parker's like, thank you, I'll take that spot.
Up through 13. Karam with the advantage. And then off track.
He runs off track, and then Parker turns into turn 14 and never gets to the bottom. And then there's a tiny bit of contact, but that allowed Sam Mayer to take the lead and ended up winning the race. And I don't think we should minimize the impact of the speedy dry and the oil that was around the racetrack. That may have had something to do with all the drivers missing and making mistakes.
And now he's going to celebrate. Got the checkered flag. Sam Mayer, a first-time winner in the NASCAR Xfinity Series with damage on the left front.
And there's a ways to get back over to victory lane here. So
And I'm not sure quite how he's thinking of getting there. He's got to go find the entrance to pit road is what he's got to do. Down at the bottom of the hill going.
Well, at this point, why not just cut across? He's done
That's what I was thinking. Back up the hill, down pit lane, and that's where he'll find victory lane. So what a day for Sam Mayer. Again, last week, disappointment at Pocono after the way he had raced his teammate Josh Berry. He was disillusioned. Now he is in victory lane. He is the next driver to get his name in yellow for the playoffs. You see 8 different winners now on the season, DJ.
Yeah, and this is just shaping up to think that what the playoffs, the potential that is there. I mean, the chaos that we saw today, that could be exactly what the playoffs look like for these Xfinity drivers and teams.
Sam was in good shape points-wise, but this is now the guarantee into the playoffs. Matt Yoakum is in victory lane.
Well, Dave, you can just add a little bit more damage to the front of that car when he came into victory lane as his father, Scott, comes up to the car, congratulates his son, Sam. Mayer's once again in victory lane here. He came in and he ripped up some of the plastic checkerboard here in victory lane.
Of course he did.
Getting ready to climb out. $14 for 14 here at Road America. Every little kid dreams, especially following in your dad's footsteps, of winning and then winning at your home track. The dream, did it match reality today?
Oh my God. Oh my God, this car is as fast as Xfinity 10G. It was just about getting track position, and we had it there at the end, and I lost it for a second, and then, I mean, all hell broke loose there at the end, and we ended up on top. Oh my God, this team, it's so special to get that first win. I mean, that monkey off your back, that feels so good. I felt it all day. Like, I felt like if I can do this one, I can do anything, and we came here today and did that.
Third to first, then third, you made your way to second, and then back to first. How much did the speedy dry make the challenge even greater trying to get the win?
Yeah, because I was going to pass him off into 13 or 12 or whatever, and it went straight. There was no grip out there offline, and probably a stupid decision to go on the outside of someone like that, but all's well that ends well, I guess.
All right, Sam Mayer, first-time winner in NASCAR's Xfinity Series, and what better place than do it than your home turf, right down the road from where you grew up.
No question, Matt, and that, of course, came from the Ruoff Victory Lane. Thanks to Ruoff Mortgage for their support of the series, and now Sam Mayer in victory lane. He's over the moon, Jeff.
Well, it's such a big win for Sam. Sam came into this series, everybody knew he was fast, and it's been much more difficult than Sam thought it was going to be. He's made some mistakes. There's no question about the speed, and connecting all the dots on a day like today and getting that win can be a launching point for this young driver. This can be the beginning of a challenge for this championship. Now he's got confidence. He's shown himself he knows how to win these races. Could be a career-changing moment for this young man.
You know, I think the most impressive thing is he pointed out where he thought that he was making the winning move, and it actually cost him a spot. He dropped back to third and then had everything within him, the drive, the determination, and the talent to come back and still make it happen.
And now he can reflect on the whole thing as the most recent winner in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Hey, who's going to win Richmond Raceway tomorrow? In the Cup Series, Countdown to Green starts at 2:30. We'll take you all the way through to the NASCAR America post-race on USA Network, and then that will also stream on Peacock. Again, a lot of this post-race coverage you can catch on the NBC Sports app and the NBC Sports YouTube channel. Check out what happened here today. Well, we're glad you stuck around to see Sam Mayer get his first career victory. What a deal for a kid that grew up just near here. He is happy, and he is the most recent winner. For Kevin Lee, Matt Yoakum, Dale Jarrett, and Jeff Burton, and our entire NBC Sports crew, thanks for watching today. I'm Dave Burns. We'll see you next time. And for the Xfinity Series, it'll be from Michigan.